No Sabres game tonight. They're back in action tomorrow at home following their Western road trip. They'll host the Bruins at 7:30, which starts a 4-game homestand for them. Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff joins Jeremy and Joe coming up at 8 o'clock this morning as well. The madness on hold for a few days in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. The Sweet 16 round gets underway Thursday night, starting at 7:10. We're 1 month out from the NFL draft and less than 1 week out from the owners' meetings and looking around the NFL. The Seahawks signed wide receiver Jake Bobo to a 2-year, $5.5 million deal. ESPN's Adam Schefter believes Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson will be a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. And the Chiefs, they've re-signed tight end Travis Kelce to a 3-year, $54.735 million contract. Baseball is back. Opening night is live on Netflix tomorrow, March 25th. Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees clash with Rafael Devers and the San Francisco Giants. MLB opening night, Yankees, Giants, live on Netflix tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Listen to the morning show all this week for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Bryan Adams with special guests Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo at KeyBank Center on Friday, August 14th, courtesy of Live Nation. Tickets go on sale Friday, March 27th at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali on Western New York's Voice of the Fans, WGR.
I have an incredible stat on the Sabres.
There are many these days.
It's like we should text everybody, hey, everybody, get up to hear this one. It's the stat of the day. We're going to save it.
Do we have that ability to send out notifications?
Like
to
a phone tree. Imagine that. Just like when schools are closing, your phone rings. Hello?
Yeah, right.
What?
Yeah.
What? Jeremy and Joe said they've got a really good stat on the Sabres. They want you to get up and hear it right now. Okay, let me call.
Someone's alarm is set for like 8:10.
Right.
They get an alert at 6:03. Got to hear the stat.
Let me call my 5 people.
That's a lot of pressure on the stat then, if that's the case.
It's pretty good. Well, we're gonna save it. We're gonna save it.
All right.
Lindy Ruff at 8 o'clock today. Sabres play tomorrow. Mm-hmm. This nonsense of 2 days in a row without a game.
I don't like it.
Who needs a rest?
I don't like it.
This is terrible.
Do we do this in the playoffs?
Sometimes
There'll be 2 days off, probably in between travel.
Yeah,
like when they flip the series.
Sometimes
relearn how this all works.
There are 2 games. Relearning how things work. Maybe you're a season ticket holder. You got the email from the Sabres, your invoice for the playoffs. Maybe you're still waiting for it. Maybe you're someone like one of us who you found someone that posted it on Reddit, what the breakdown was.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this was a reminder that all of us needed. Holy cow, the playoffs get expensive. Wow.
They do, but I think there was like this is a sticker shock, but it's because the number you might see right away is like if they play the max amount of home games all the way through the Stanley Cup final and have home ice through every series, and like that number is almost never going to be, even if they were to make the Stanley Cup final.
Sure.
Some of the series might go 5 or 6 games. And you won't have that many to buy.
No, there's the sticker shock of if they did all that, here's your price. And then there's the per game. And
per game is really where
even then, it's still kind of like, wow, there was a 300-level person who put their invoice up, and Stanley Cup final tickets were $230 per ticket, which if they play, 4 games.
Uh-huh.
Like, well, okay, that all of a sudden it's $500 a game times with $2,000.
The thing about that though is
you're in the Cup final and you're not going to be even breathing regular air.
That, and also it's not the regular season where I've got to buy this ticket at this price for a Tuesday night game against the Islanders in November. and what's the resale value going to be on that? If you want to sell a ticket to, ideally, a Sabres fan in the Stanley Cup final, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a value on that ticket back, I think.
Is there anybody in the West they could be playing where the other team would?
I don't think
They're not playing the Leafs, right? They're not playing.
No, I don't think there's anybody.
Who's even the Western Conference team that would do this? Is
All
there?
I mean, like, if you wanted to get that number back, because I only want to go to 2 of the 4.
Yeah.
I only want to go to 3 of the 4. You should do fine getting that number back
Fair.
if you were to throw it up on one of the secondary sites.
Fair, yeah.
Because it's the Stanley Cup. The resale ticket probably will be going for much more than what that ends up being, right?
Don't you feel like that's often the built-in price of a ticket is that the primary seller wants to make sure, like, let's make sure we make enough so we're not just suckers.
Yeah.
Like, here's a $13 Stanley Cup final ticket. Oh, thank you.
Right.
I'll sell this for, $1,000.
But if they're hosting Game 4 of the Stanley Cup final, we'll be doing many things that day. One might be, look at what the ticket prices are, in the thousands, maybe. I don't know what tickets would go for around here in the finals. All I know is what the World Series tickets ended up going for up in Toronto.
Which was?
An exorbitant amount for, if you were just going on SchmubHub.
Like $500 a game, or
no,
more than that?
Like 1,000.
Wow.
Like, was the get-in for at least the games later in the series.
It's a big city, Toronto.
It is a bigger city.
A lot of buyers.
It's a bigger stadium, too, but it's a bigger
True.
city. Yeah.
Sabres playoffs. How about that? I don't remember.
The branding, too. I was getting excited just about the letterhead at the top.
And it says, be here with us, or be here for this.
Be here for this.
Be here for this.
But even just the playoffs lettering with the sword underneath it. Oh.
You'll have to take me back. At any point during the drought, maybe the year they missed by 1 point, did they ever have this where they sent the email, here's what playoff tickets will cost? Because I feel like I remember during the Bills drought, there were a couple times where they were in the hunt, and there might have been the, hey, be sure to secure your tickets, and we would mock them. Like, are you crazy? You think you're going to the playoffs? You're terrible. You're 7-7. This isn't happening for you. Because for the Sabres and their email to the season ticket holders yesterday, it's very much oh, here they are. It's not the team wishing, hoping, which I'm sure a lot of sports teams do. The Cincinnati Bengals got, of course, very upset when a team planned for games that might happen between the Bills and the Chiefs that one year. So it's not even we hope to make it, and if we do, here's what we need from you. This is here. File this away. You're going to need to plan for these. And that's a different feeling, too. So it's just it's all coming back. It's all coming back to me. Playoff hockey. The playoffs start April 18th. So when you say it like that, the playoffs start before the draft. There could be a game on draft night.
Full week?
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah.
I looked recently. That has never really lined up. The Sabres playing a playoff game
and the draft
on a draft night. Not at least a round one draft night. Like, boy. I think you have to go back to 2001. I think the last time I looked. Like, it never happened in 06 or 07.
Right. Because the draft. I
mean, they would have been maybe the draft would have been between games.
I also think the draft used to be in May, wasn't it? The draft was later in the year.
Yes.
It used to be later in the year.
I think that's right.
And, of course, you'd have to make it further into the postseason to do that. April 30th in 2006. How many years do I have to go back to find a much earlier NFL draft? Maybe it's in my head. I don't know.
Maybe it was it in it was in the first week of May, wasn't it?
I thought so.
For a long while?
I thought so, but maybe there's one year in there where that's just a one-off and I'm remembering it incorrectly.
Yeah.
And it appears to be right on the same weekend every random year I'm Googling right now. So
I mean, we'll get Party in the Plaza details at some point, I'm assuming, too. That might not be till they clinch.
I've never gone to one of those.
You've never been?
No, I was either at the game, going into the game, or I was at a local establishment that was not the Plaza. So I never watched a Sabres game Party in the Plaza.
Does it appeal to you?
I think so. They've got a big television, right?
Big screen.
And they sell beer?
So the only thing, obviously, I have not been to one since I was in high school. Maybe I was in college. There was no French Connection statue at the time. So you lose fair enough. It's a great statue. There is a little less room than there used to be. You also would want to stand directly behind it because the screen was usually put up kind of where the entry gate is, or on that side. I guess they could put the screen somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know how they want to do it. Could they put it up where the mural is? That feels like, in terms of where it is, the easiest for everybody to get a look at it.
Right.
I don't know. What I remember it being, though, is just one big TV kind of in the corner by where the entry gate was. And I don't remember whether they were selling beer or not, because I don't think I would have been able to get it.
Did they block off that street?
Yes, I think they did.
It feels like you should block off.
I think they did.
That street multiple. Again, it's one of these things that's.
Oh, did they? No, I'm pretty sure they did. Okay. I'm not 100% sure, though. Maybe someone else that would remember it more clearly.
I got to check pictures. Yeah, I was never at one of those. I was always, for the playoffs in 05, 06, 06, 07, I think I went to most of the games. Not all, but most. Mm-hmm. And I would always be in the arena. Like, they check in on the Jumbotron. Let's check in on the Plaza. And everybody's out there having a great time.
Mm-hmm.
So
the TV wasn't also, like, that big. It wasn't massive.
Technology's come a long way.
It has. I would expect it to be way more clear to see it from anywhere in the Plaza.
There's a good question for the next time we get a Pete Gwelly or anyone from the Sabres. Yarmo. Yarmo right now is out there shopping giant TVs to make sure we've got the most support. We got to get a 100-footer. For our projection.
Right.
It's going to be outside at the arena. Yeah, they haven't announced any party of the Plaza, but everyone seems to expect that, right? Is that a first-round thing because everyone's going to want to be back? I don't know that 803-0550. Half of what I wanted to bring up today was, what do you remember about the playoffs? Give us a ring, whatever it is. 803-0550. The Sabres are going back. They sent out their invoices for going to the games. We're talking party of the Plaza. What do you remember about the playoffs? And to that point, like, for the party in the Plaza, did they do it for the opening game? Did they do it for a Tuesday? If they open the playoffs on that Sunday at 4 p.m., like, okay, that's keyed in for a party in the Plaza. The following game, game 2 is at home, Tuesday night. Is there one for a Tuesday night game? I feel like that's a no.
I think they did it for all the playoff games. Didn't they?
Is that only after a certain round? When they do the Leafs games or the Raptors in Jurassic Park, was that all the games, or just?
Oh, I think they do it
finals games, just important games.
The Raptors, I think, do it for all of their games.
Okay.
A lot of NBA teams do it for like all those games. Like once they get, maybe they only do it once they get to a certain round. Like the Milwaukee Bucks had a giant one of those that they had. The Winnipeg Jets last year. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, famous goals where they cut to what's going on outside. Winnipeg last year, when they scored with 1 second left to tie Game 7 at home, it's like they show all the guys celebrating. They immediately cut outside, and it's like all of Winnipeg is out in a street watching the game going crazy. So they would have done it for Game 1. I mean, think of when the Sabres were in the playoffs in 07. What day of the week was Game 5 on against the Rangers?
Game 5 against the Rangers.
Because on the broadcast, Drury scores. They're celebrating. The first thing they cut to is what's going on outside, and there are people climbing on each other.
And it's dark outside. I know that.
It's dark outside.
I was in the building. That one, I don't remember what day of the week it was.
But that's round 2, right?
Yep.
I don't remember if there would have been them for round. No, there must have been them for round 1, because I think the last time I went to one would have been for round 1.
Yeah.
So I think they might have them for all the playoff games. That's how some teams, I think, do it.
Like Game 6, Carolina, was there one? I was downtown. I did not go to the Plaza. I went to a bar.
I am sure there was.
Yeah.
I'm not 100%, but I would be stunned if there wasn't one for Game 6 of the conference finals.
AC in the chat on YouTube writes in, what about going to the Ralph, and could they fill the Ralph for a watch party?
We did think about that recently.
I would say no, but the Bison Stadium, and they did that. They have done that before. You can watch the game at the ballpark if the Bisons aren't home and it's nice enough outside. Instead of party in the Plaza, it's a party at the ballpark, and watch the game on. That's a good television, good big TV.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Owen and
Joe. The arena watch parties during road playoff games. That I don't remember. I don't remember them ever doing that. Maybe they did. I just wasn't there and didn't know that it was happening at the time. But that's something other teams do all the time that looks awesome.
I know I've asked this before, but I'll ask again. The last Sabres playoff game, you were how old?
9,
yeah,
I want
we
to
were
say,
young.
something like that.
Below 10, I think.
Yeah,
what year
sub 10.
It was
Elementary school?
2011, right?
So I would have been,
Yeah, I was 9.
Do you remember it?
No.
So you have not experienced this ever?
No.
To your memory. Wow.
So they can't help.
No, I'm not asking.
What do you remember about the playoffs? 2 of the 4 ads.
We are
Don't
of
remember.
no help
You don't
to
remember
No.
watching them on television? You remember...
I can remember. What I remember is a couple of like RJ moments. Like I always, as a little kid, was like, I remember RJ the most just because the voice would always just resonate with me as a little kid. So I remember some like RJ moments, but I don't remember what they were, who they were. I don't remember anything. I was a little kid. I wasn't really that into. I was a hockey player. I liked hockey. I loved the Sabres, but I wasn't a freak like I am now about it.
Yeah, I just remember basically going a couple times, my parents introducing me to it in my little slug jersey. Like that's really it. Like you said, nothing specific. So yeah. First time experience at this point.
I might have been wearing like my Tyler Myers Buffalo, that light blue with the script, that jersey we love so much.
That's a good one.
That was the jersey I was probably wearing watching the game. But I don't remember any moments or anything like specific about what I thought of it or anything.
The last Sabres playoff game was a Tuesday night, I believe, because it's 2 days after they lose to the Flyers on Easter. And Easter's a Sunday, right? Like Easter Sunday, I can remember, of course, watching that game. That's Game 6, they lose to the Flyers. Then they lose Game 7 in a game that they're not competitive in. And then, into the darkness we go.
Yeah. I'm watching the full broadcast of some of the Sabre Flyer games from the last playoff series are up. And like Game 3, I just pulled up. Like in the intro of the game, there it is outside, party in the Plaza. There are 2 TVs for this one.
How big are they?
They're
37 inches.
They're not large. I can show you. They're not large.
Great.
They're decent.
Point in the chat.
I wouldn't say for the amount of people that are there though.
Yeah.
Like it's not, because there's one in like the corner by the parking lot. There's one in the corner by like the entry.
The series there is tied 1-1, Game 3 against the Flyers, because the Sabres won Game 1 on the Coletta goal. And Game 2,
I remember that. I actually do.
You remember that goal?
I do remember the Coletta goal.
Yeah, third period they win the game 1-0 on a Coletta goal.
Yeah,
is that right?
He gets tripped as he scores.
Yeah.
Yep. I do remember that. And that tripped it for me.
I don't remember Game 2. I know they lost it, and I know actually
about Game 2.
Game 2 is when I watched it at the old Gordon's, and Doug Allen sang the anthem at Gordon's. Okay. That's Game 2.
Is Game 2 when Mike Richards like breaks Connolly's face in the wall?
No, that was here in Buffalo. I think Game 2 is back and forth. I want to say the Sabres like went up 2-0 and then 2-2. It might have been a final of like 5-4 or 6-3 or something like that. A crooked score, because that's when the goalies started to truly melt down for the Flyers.
Right.
Because Game 1, of course, they lose 1-0. Game 2, the Flyers goalies fall apart.
Game 2 is like they score twice from behind the net in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, that might be right.
Vanek scored from behind the net, and maybe Ennis scored from behind the net.
Yeah,
and they got bank shots.
And they still lost that game. The Sabres did.
Right.
And I don't remember much else about it. Game 3 is here, and I don't remember much about Game 3, the one you were just pulling up. Game 4 I remember, because that's Miller with a virtuoso performance and beating them in a shutout and stopping Briere on the doorstep.
That save. I remember that save.
Like that's Game 4.
Game 4 is also 1-0. They won 2 games 1-0.
Game 5. Did they win Game 5 1-0 on Tyler Ennis?
No, that was 4-3.
4-3. Oh, that's Tyler Ennis overtime winner for Game 5.
Yeah.
These are all like tripping little tiny like blips for me, like a little 9-year-old me sitting in front of a TV.
I think the game I'm thinking of, I mean, there were multiple games like this, so like you're not wrong in that they pulled the goalie in Game 2. That's not the one though where they were scoring from behind the net. That was game 5.
Okay.
Because they run out 3-0 in the first period, and there's Ennis and Vanek like in the first 4 minutes. I think those were both bank shots. And then they get pulled. The Sabres blow a 3-0 lead before they win it in overtime.
Gotcha. Then Game 6, of
Briere
course.
scored a game-tying goal with 3 minutes left in the third period.
He tended to do that. He did that a lot.
He was pretty good in the playoffs specifically.
I wonder why they signed him.
Flyers?
Yeah.
It's probably a pretty good signing for them.
That's another thing that I have just residually from that, is that I've always hated the Flyers. That's a little bit of my dad passing that down to me too from just old times, but like that also was that for me. And in the chat, by the way, great point. What wasn't there the last time they were in the playoffs? Canal side.
Yeah, right.
That could be
degree where you could do a giant watch party on the lawn.
Right. Like that could be party at Canal Side could go pretty hard.
Yeah.
That could be huge.
It'd be
because they have those
wild.
big stages there that they do concerts at. Like you put a giant TV on that stage and you're having a day. It's like 65 degrees out there.
Now you can go, you can party, watch a Sabres game, go on the carousel in the intermission.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of all kinds of stuff. Like they could set up little food trucks and stuff.
Can you imagine if they make it long enough into the year for people to, have their boats docked to Canal Side? Like that could happen.
How long do they have to make it in for that? Like second round?
Mid-May or early May, depending on when people actually get their boats in the water.
Might have to make the conference finals.
I think the marina downtown opens up. I think it's
mid-May would be like, that's like end of the second round.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, get to the second round. They are favored to do, by the way.
803-0550 to join us in 1-888-550-2550. Jeremy Joe, Owen Parker, Alt Joe, remembering the playoffs and a time that is it's coming back. Like we know that much. Tonight in the NHL, the Lightning play at home. They open up their big homestand here, and it's going to be Minnesota tonight, which is good. Like, hey, go ahead and lose to a good team.
Yeah.
On this homestand, the Lightning have games against Minnesota, Seattle, Ottawa, Nashville, Montreal, Pittsburgh, and Boston, and then they come here. So a 7-game homestand for the Lightning, and then the April 6th game that's here.
Not an easy slate, though, I would say. Like, there's some good teams you mentioned in there. There's some teams that are in playoff spots.
That's right. Minnesota's good. The Senators are probably good.
The Senators in the third period. I turned on that game. I watched a little of it in the first. It was Rangers hosting the Senators.
Yes.
And the Rangers are bad. They're in last in the East still.
Yep.
Well, maybe Toronto is. Whatever. They're going back and forth. I put that game on for a minute in the first period, went away from it, turned it back on. It's in the third. It's like 5 minutes into the third period. The Rangers had 5 shots on goal.
Uh-huh. They set a franchise record. They tied a franchise record they finished with 9. 9 shots.
They did only lose by 1. Like
That's right.
They scored a minute after I turned the game on. Connor Sherry apparently still plays in the NHL. He scored, and I'm thinking they're going to win. They're going to lose this game in some dumb fashion because of goaltending or like their goalie made 6 saves on the night. 9 shots is what they ended with. Ottawa's good.
They are very good. I was watching that whole game. The color commentator for the Rangers on their broadcast.
Just roasting them?
Hammering them.
Good.
Like, I've never seen a team look so done with a year. It's impossible not to question their effort as players. Like, just drilling them. It was unbelievable.
11 games left. They have 65 points. They pretty much have clinched last in the East. The Rangers have. Meanwhile, I'm going to say I am, and this might be something that in the past I might have said something psycho, but I am glad that the Sabres are not in the mix where the wild card 1, 2, 3, 4 is, because that, although they're not that far away from it, no, they're 9 points out.
Yeah, they're good.
They're good.
Let's lump these teams in: Pittsburgh, Columbus, Boston, the Islanders, the Red Wings, and the Senators.
You should include Montreal.
If you want to include Montreal, sure, let's do it.
They have the same amount of points.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, they're only 2 points up on not being in a playoff spot.
Right. They have a couple games in hand, but
yeah.
So, fine. Montreal, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Boston, the Islanders, the Red Wings, and the Senators. That is 8 teams,
three points.
3 points apart.
Yeah,
it's
and
crazy.
It is good for my mental health that the Sabres were not doing that every night. The out-of-town scoreboard is fun to watch and give a grade. I'm like, oh, hey, it was like a C+, instead of me just
sweating out,
red-eyeing some game at 8:30 at night. Like, hold on, this is big for Boston, but hold on over here on this screen.
Right.
And
we got like a quad screen going, like, oh, Columbus just scored.
I have really enjoyed getting up every morning and going like, oh, last night was an F on the scoreboard, but it doesn't matter because they don't lose.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's been awesome to be able to tweet every morning like, everything went wrong last night, but they're still in first, so who cares?
The other thing that it really does is right now, like, you can't. It's hard to play the who are they going to play game. I mean, you could play. I guess you could play it with more teams. There are like 8 teams they could play at the moment.
Yeah, I've got my list of like I don't mind this, but stay away from this, and it's like 4 teams on each side. It's crazy.
Right, like they could play Montreal, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Boston, the Islanders, the Red Wings, the Senators. Yeah. Should I even leave a little room for the Flyers?
I was just gonna say, like,
no.
They've been kind of hot.
They're 5 out with 2 games in hand.
Yeah,
they won 3 in a row.
They won 3 in a row. They won 7 of 10.
I mean, probably not. but even like they're trying to get back into the party. Right. But whatever, I don't even need them for it. It's like 8 teams that they could play Pittsburgh in round 1.
Well, this is where the radical idea that we'll never see is, what if teams were allowed to pick their opponents? Oh. Imagine that. You'd be over here saying, I don't care what happens. If Ottawa gets in, you don't take them.
Correct.
They're third in expected goal share in the entire NHL.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they are.
Man.
Yeah, 5-on-5. They are a dominant team.
I'm not ready for the Sabres to make it and us to sit here stressed out in the first round by a team that looks secretly good. Like the Panthers the last couple of years making it. Oh, look at this team. They made it as the 8. Yeah, watch out. They're about to smack everybody.
Yeah.
Not that the Senators are quite the Panthers, but anyway.
Dylan Cousins scoring important playoff goals against you would probably not feel great for many.
Josh Norris revenge series as well, though.
I mean, because we got that last playoff series. Like, there's one of your old guys. And he was on another level than I think anybody might be in the league right now. But there's one of your guys. He's back, and he is scoring big, important goals against you in the playoffs. And that was not a great feeling. And there would be a couple of guys in the league right now that would be that. I don't know, though, who they would play in the first couple rounds that would fit that description other than Cousins, right? Wouldn't Cousins be like the only guy that
okay.
There's a former Sabre who's going to be scoring important playoff goals.
The Sabres' revenge game run.
Right, like they wouldn't play Eichel till the finals,
right.
So throw that aside. They wouldn't. They're not going to play Reinhart this year because they're not going to
Cousins. Make it. What's the deal with Allmark?
He's playing. He didn't play last night, but he's been playing.
Okay.
Yeah, he would be that. Everyone likes Allmark, though. Does that matter to it?
That's true.
Although everyone kind of like Briere still, didn't they?
The Senators like Allmark? I don't know.
That
whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know how many there would be in the East, at least.
Is Casey Middlestad still hanging around?
Bruins. There you go. Yeah, Middlestat. I'm not afraid of Middlestat, though.
I was just going to say, if there's any now that Sabres fans are able to flex their playoff muscles a little bit and look back on former Sabres who you would not be afraid of in the postseason, I feel like Middlestat is high on the list.
Casey Middlestat's on the list.
Not afraid of that guy.
No.
This is not, thoroughbred Jack Eichel you're meeting in the playoffs. It's Casey Middlestat. I feel like you wouldn't worry about it as much. 803-0550. Playoff time approaches. April 18th, first day of the playoffs in the NHL. And, could it be the 18th? Could it be the 19th? The draft is that week. Lots to get to. We'll talk with Lindy Ruff at 8 o'clock this morning. Have some time for your phone calls. I heard the entire station talk about wide receiver the whole day yesterday. The whole day. You guys got to have
there was some KC Concepcion buzz all around the football
I know. You
world.
guys got to have an intervention with me because I got to figure out what to do with myself. The Bills are having a top 30 visit with KC Concepcion. And some profiles dropped on him being amazing. And I got Sal on the afternoon show talking with the guys about how, it really would make a lot of sense to get a cost-controlled receiver. I'm thinking, is everybody on the wide receiver train? It sounds ridiculous. What are you all talking about out there? Maybe we'll dig into that too. 803-0550, our phone number, if you want to just kind of remember the playoffs with us, talk about the race, get in on the Bills. And I'm posting up a Twitter poll about the wide receiver conversation, whether or not it's out of the first round for you after the DJ Moore trade. 803-0550. Jeremy and Joe on a Tuesday here on WGR.
I mean, we'll get Party in the Plaza details at some point, I'm assuming, too. That might not be till they clinch.
I've never gone to one of those.
You've never been?
No, I was either at the game, going into the game, or I was at a local establishment that was not the Plaza. So I never watched a Sabres game, Party in the Plaza.
Does it appeal to you?
I think so. They've got a big television, right?
Big screen.
And they sell beer?
So the only thing, obviously,
okay.
I have not been to one since I was in high school. Maybe I was in college. There was no French Connection statue at the time. So you lose fair enough. Like, it's a great statue. There is a little less room than there used to be. You also would want to stand directly behind it because the screen was usually put up kind of where the entry gate is or on that side. I guess they could put the screen somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know how they want to do it. Could they put it up where the mural is? That feels like, in terms of where it is, the easiest for everybody to get a look at it.
Right.
I don't know. What I remember it being, though, is just one big TV kind of in the corner by where the entry gate was. And I don't remember whether they were selling beer or not because I don't think I would have been able to get it.
Did they block off that street?
Yes, I think they did.
It feels like you should block off
I think they did.
that street multiple. Again, it's one of these things that's.
Oh, did they? No, I'm pretty sure they did.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, though. Maybe someone else that would remember more clearly.
I got to check pictures. Yeah, I was never at one of those. I was always, for the playoffs in 05, 06, 06, 07, I think I went to most of the games. Not all, but most. Mm-hmm. And I would always be in the arena. Like, they check in on the Jumbotron. Let's check in on the Plaza. And everybody's out there having a great time.
No Sabres game tonight. They're back in action tomorrow at home following their Western road trip. They'll host the Bruins at 7:30, which will start a 4-game homestand for them. Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff joins Jeremy and Joe coming up at 8 o'clock as well. The madness on hold for a few days in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. The Sweet 16 round gets underway Thursday night, starting right around 7:10. 1 month out from the NFL draft and less than 1 week out from the owners' meetings, looking around the NFL, the Seahawks signed wide receiver Jake Bobo to a 2-year, $5.5 million deal. The Chiefs re-signed tight end Travis Kelce to a 3-year, $54.735 million contract. And ESPN's Adam Schefter believes Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson will be a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL draft. Baseball is back. Opening night is live on Netflix tomorrow, March 25th. Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees clash with Rafael Devers in the San Francisco Giants. MLB opening night, Yankees, Giants, live on Netflix tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Listen to Jeremy and Joe this week for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Buffalo Bisons opening day this Friday, March 27th, courtesy of the Bisons. Bills linebacker Buffalo Joe Andreessen will throw out the first pitch. And don't forget the 50-degree guarantee. It'll be 50 degrees at first pitch, or all fans will receive a bonus free Bisons ticket. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Headlines. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali on Western New York's Voice of the Fans, WGR.
The Buffalo Sabres could have home ice advantage in the Eastern Conference. I'm just saying.
They certainly can, and it looks like they're going to. I mean, it's amazing how well they played. They've caught fire for some reason. Obviously, they got a tremendous young team. I think everybody's happy to see Buffalo playing the way they are. We've all been waiting for them to take that next step. They've all come of age. They're all coming of age at the same time. They seem to have a lot of chemistry. Right? They're getting the goaltending and Lindy Ruff. I mean, you talk about Lindy Ruff. He's has some experience there, and whatever he's done, he's been able to get that group to believe in themselves, and they're playing great.
Yeah, he might be the coach of the year, by the way.
He has a chance.
No question. And it's also just the development of those players. Seeing Darlene take that next step and now become a premier defenseman in the league. Yeah, I definitely see Buffalo contending with Tampa to come out of the East. If I wasn't going to pick Tampa, it would probably be Buffalo.
PK Subban there. Boy, if they make that series with Tampa. Do you got here we are just doing remember the playoffs? The 05-06 playoffs was the standings were a little different than they are right now. Good morning, Jeremy and Joe. That's PK Subban and Carl Ravitch and the panel talking about the Sabres and the playoffs. 05-06 is pre-Ottawa fight. That's when how far behind the Senators did the Sabres finish in the standings? Because
not far. Maybe a couple points.
Okay. Because the series going in felt like
but Ottawa had smoked them in their head-to-head matchups.
Yeah. They had 113 points, Ottawa did.
Okay.
And the Sabres had 110 that year, which was actually Detroit was number 1 in the NHL, Ottawa number 2, and the Sabres were number 3 in points.
But they would have been the 4 seed in the conference because of the division winner had to be above them.
Yeah. Stop me if you've heard this before. The NHL had some strange seeding going on where matchups were not exactly just. The thing I remember about 05-06 in Ottawa was, and again, it's different than this year, but that felt like this is the Dragon. That was the beat the Chiefs and you get through them to the next round. Who will stop you? I mean, they were the best team in the East that year, and their goal differential, just to compare the Sabres and the Senators that year, this is really where it is. The Sabres, the 05-06 Sabres, they were a plus 42 on goal differential. Ottawa was a plus 103.
Wow.
Yeah.
103?
103. They were...
Man, that's got to be near the record.
It might be.
Colorado this year has had one of the best regular seasons ever. Well, let's slow down a bit. They're plus 82.
Yeah. Ottawa that year led the league in goals, and they were third in goals against. They were dominant. And that series, it kind of felt like they were going to be a big, big underdog. Of course, Dominik Hasek was hurt. Big part of it, right? So you got Ray Emery instead. Anyway, all I'm getting at is if the Sabres and Lightning do meet and that collision course matchup happens in the second round, I mean, the emotions we will feel, the instant built rivalry. Isn't it so funny how the NHL, the entire playoff format exists in an attempt to create rivalries? And the Sabres and Lightning, maybe not for Tampa. Maybe they're still coming along. I'm hating the Sabres. We'll see. The Sabres and Lightning could have the most intense one that we've had for the Sabres in a decade kind of bubble up in the span of 2 months.
Right. All of the pent-up energy would have been from 2 regular season games at most, really. And... bam, we're in the playoffs and we're rivals.
And we hate each other.
Yeah.
And we absolutely, and the fans are full throat, absolutely despise this team.
I mean, isn't that really all it took? Because even like the Ottawa rivalry was a blip. Like it didn't.
No,
it was not. There was none of it pre-lockout.
It bubbled up, lasted 2 years,
was
and then those teams were bad.
Over by 2007. So it was a 2-year flash, but it was intense for 2 years. Like that's really all that matters. If you're good at the same time, it takes a minute to get there, right? Which is where like the Tampa-Florida rivalry has reached like another level because they've been doing it for 5 years against each other. And I guess they play in the same state, if that matters as well. But that part, I guess you can see, like, that doesn't matter either. The Lightning are in the Sabres division. Tampa Bay, wait, what? They're in the same division with Buffalo? All right, if you're just both good at the same time, you'll be rivals. And that's already happened. Yeah, that would be... I really hope we get that series. I mean, I guess I hope Tampa gets bounced in round 1. Right? Just for chances of... I want them to win the cup.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Like the Lightning, the emotion of it and the intensity of building up to that series would be incredible. But it's part of why, like, why do I want them to win the division? I want them to have home ice because it'll make it easier for them to win the Stanley Cup this year, which I think they're capable of. And I guess at that point, I would say, yeah, then I hope Tampa gets upset in round 1 and I get to play the Bruins in the second round.
True. I'm with you.
Or the Red Wings.
I'm with you.
Or Montreal. Because that would be those become rivalries too. If Montreal made it to the second round, I'll just become their rival.
The Montreal games have been great. I mean, that could absolutely rocket to a good rivalry status very quickly. 803-0550, our phone number, 1-888-552-550. Sabres play the Bruins tomorrow. 4-game homestand for the Sabres, 7-game homestand for the Lightning. And then we get to, of course, Sabres and Lightning on April 6th. We'll take your calls in the playoffs if you want. Playoff invoices have gone out. The Sabres starting their planning. And I'm eager to find out how many season tickets they add in the next – count the last month before this 2 months. Like how many they add based on you get playoff priority. You can get your tickets to the playoffs because, boy, is it ever an effective selling tactic. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're going to the playoffs. You want tickets? Yes. All right, just get season tickets next year. Okay. Mm-hmm. That was pretty much us. Like, Joe and I have just started a new season ticket group with a couple other guys, and like, we're back in. It's exactly for me what it was in 05-06, which was, I don't know if it was around this time of year. Well, could it have been March, a little earlier, maybe February? It was, they're good, they're going to be good. All right, I want to go to the playoffs. I want to buy season tickets, and I got them in 05-06, and I kept them for probably 15 years. Mm-hmm. We're getting back in.
We're in.
Back in.
I mean, what they're doing should be sustainable to some extent. I've wondered, like, whether they can do this again. Goalie, Lindy Ruff, Tuck. Like, there are reasons to wonder, but like, most of their good players are here
and
signed.
Prime age. And Tuck is the only age conversation.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Right, like there's Zucker, maybe, a little bit. Like,
True.
is he going to score 20 goals forever? I don't know. Is he going to be like 35 next year? Like, but for the most part, like, those are, individuals that stand out from the group. The group is young and good. I've said it about, like, Ostlund. Like, is he going to be a point-per-game player next year? I think that's possible. He's super impressive. I'm still waiting for Benson to kind of take one more step offensively. Although I did look, and he's on like a 52-point pace right now, that's fine. That's much higher than he was the previous 2 years.
In a season that he's battled a few things, illness, injury.
Yeah. I mean, he's putting up points on the fourth line also. So, like, they've got guys that might ascend to replace the couple that are going to age out anyway.
803-0550, our phone number, and 1-888-550-2550. Sabres and Bruins tomorrow. The Lightning play tonight against the Minnesota Wild, and, off we go. Ottawa-Detroit tomorrow is a huge game. Huge game.
Yeah.
Carolina-Montreal. Toronto plays Boston. I'm sorry, tonight, I should say. Tonight
is
Ottawa-Detroit is tonight. Boston plays tonight at home against Toronto before coming here.
The Red Wings are in their own special hell because I got to look up, like, how many days they've spent in a playoff spot the last 3 years.
And they might miss again.
They've been in a spot all year long. And see, they're at a crossroads. They're in a much tougher spot than even maybe you would argue the Sabres were. Not because their drought is longer. Theirs is at 9 years, I think. But they're old. And their GM is Yzerman.
Legend.
Not as easy to just get rid of that guy. He's been there now for a while. It hasn't worked. I think you have to keep going because, well, he's Steve Yzerman. But look at your lineup. Like, it's their leading scorers, their top 7 leading scorers. Here are the age of the Red Wings. 28, 23. That's the one they have a couple young guys. 28, 23, 29, 24, 37, 31, 36, 30. Like 2 young guys in their top 8 scores.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like 28 or into their mid-30s. Like their age is a lot higher than like where Buffalo or Ottawa's has been. And they haven't made it. And the GM's a legend that I don't think you can just fire.
803-0550, our phone number. We'll get you that Sabres stat of the day when we return. Then I want to turn the conversation to football and just how much receiver talk there is right now and what I'm supposed to do with it.
You're getting bullied into it.
You never have to talk me into it. I'm over here trying to eat my vegetables, and everyone's just, throwing the good stuff right in front of me. 803-0550, our phone number, 1-888-552-550. That very, very good Sabres stat of the day when we return here on WGR.
I mean, we'll get Party in the Plaza details at some point, I'm assuming, too. That might not be till they clinch.
I've never gone to one of those.
You've never been?
No, I was either at the game, going into the game, or I was at a local establishment that was not the Plaza. So I never watched a Sabres game Party in the Plaza.
Does it appeal to you?
I think so. They've got a big television, right?
Big screen.
And they sell beer?
So the only thing, obviously,
okay.
I have not been to one since I was in high school. Maybe I was in college. There was no French Connection statue at the time. So you lose fair enough. Like, it's a great statue. There is a little less room than there used to be. You also would want to stand directly behind it because the screen was usually put up kind of where the entry gate is or on that side. I guess they could put the screen somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know how they'll want to do it. Could they put it up where the mural is? That feels like, in terms of where it is, the easiest for everybody to get a look at it.
Right.
I don't know. What I remember it being, though, is just one big TV kind of in the corner by where the entry gate was. And I don't remember whether they were selling beer or not because I don't think I would have been able to get it.
Did they block off that street?
Yes, I think they did.
It feels like you should block off
I think they did.
that street multiple. Again, it's one of these things that's.
Oh, did they? No, I'm pretty sure they did.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure though. Maybe someone else that would remember it more clearly.
I got to check pictures. Yeah, I was never at one of those. I was always, for the playoffs in 05, 06, 06, 07, I think I went to most of the games. Not all, but most. And I would always be in the arena. Like, they check in on the Jumbotron. Let's check in on the Plaza. And everybody's out there having a great time. All I'm getting at is, if the Sabres and Lightning do meet and that collision course matchup happens in the second round, I mean, the emotions we will feel, the instant built rivalry. Isn't it so funny how the NHL, the entire playoff format exists in an attempt to create rivalries? And the Sabres and Lightning, maybe not for Tampa, maybe they're still coming along. I'm hating the Sabres. We'll see. The Sabres and Lightning could have the most intense one that we've had for the Sabres in a decade kind of bubble up in the span of 2 months.
Right.
Like,
all of the pent up energy would have been from 2 regular season games at most, really. And like, bam, we're in the playoffs and we're rivals.
And we hate each other.
Yeah.
And we absolutely, and the fans are full throat, absolutely despise this team.
I mean, isn't that really all it took? Because even like the Ottawa rivalry was a blip. Like, it didn't.
No,
it was not. There was none of it pre-lockout.
It bubbled up, lasted 2 years, and then those teams were bad.
Over by 2007. So it was a 2-year flash, but it was intense for 2 years. Like, that's really all that matters. If you're good at the same time, it takes a minute to get there, right? Which is where, like, the Tampa-Florida rivalry has reached, like, another level because they've been doing it for 5 years against each other. And I guess they play in the same state, if that matters as well. But that part, I guess you can see, like, that doesn't matter either. The Lightning are in the Sabres division. Tampa Bay, wait, what? They're in the same division with Buffalo? All right, if you're just both good at the same time, you'll be rivals. And that's already happened. Yeah, that would be... I really hope we get that series.
All right, stat of the day. This came from Mike Clay. Got audio of him talking about this. I sent this to Joe Kelly. That, we know the Sabres have been good, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mike Clay of ESPN?
Sorry, Mike Kelly.
Mike Kelly.
I do that all the
NHL
time.
Network. Yeah.
Mike Kelly.
They both live in the advanced stat world, just in
That's right.
different aspects.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like, okay. The Sabres have had a lead in the last 27 games.
They've had a lead
Yeah.
in 27 games
27 consecutive games they've had a lead.
Wow.
They've won a lot, so you're like, well,
yeah,
but
right.
even the games that they've lost, they have had a lead in 27 consecutive games.
Right, because a couple come to mind. Anaheim, they're leading in the final 2 minutes.
Washington,
the game they lost in Tampa, they were leading with like 30 seconds left.
Yeah. The one home win against Washington, they scored first.
Right. Yeah.
27 consecutive games.
So what's the last? Do we know the last game that they didn't lead in?
I think, is it Carolina?
The Brandon Bussey game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be right. Which was coincidentally their last regulation road loss.
It was 1-1 at the end of the first, and they lost.
Darlene scored first.
Okay, so it's before that game. Sorry, my mistake. Before the Carolina game, I was trying to count backward there.
Is it since the new year?
Is it the January 12th Panthers game? Or is it the Blue Jackets game they lost 5-1?
I think they never led in the Florida game.
Okay, there you go. 27 consecutive games with the lead.
January 12th? Wow.
Formula for winning. Have the lead.
Yeah.
Or get it. 803-0550 to join us. 1-888-550-2550. Lindy Ruff at 8 o'clock. We got some draft talk for you coming up next in what seems to be, at least yesterday, was taking over all of Bill's Mafia. It's coming up here on WGR. Jeremy White here for AAA Insurance AAA. All I'm getting at is if the Sabres and Lightning do meet and that collision course matchup happens in the second round, I mean, the emotions we will feel, the instant built rivalry. Isn't it so funny how the NHL, the entire playoff format exists in an attempt to create rivalries? And the Sabres and Lightning, maybe not for Tampa. Maybe they're still coming along. I'm hating the Sabres. We'll see. The Sabres and Lightning could have the most intense one that we've had for the Sabres in a decade kind of bubble up in the span of 2 months.
Right. All of the pent-up energy would have been from 2 regular season games at most, really. And, like, bam, we're in the playoffs and we're rivals.
And we hate each other.
Yeah.
And we absolutely, and the fans are full throat, absolutely despise this team.
I mean, isn't that really all it took? Because even, like, the Ottawa rivalry was a blip. Like, it didn't.
No,
it was not. There was none of it pre-lockout.
It bubbled up, lasted 2 years, and then those teams were bad.
Over by 2007. So it was a 2-year flash. But it was intense for 2 years. Like, that's really all that matters. If you're good at the same time, it takes a minute to get there, right? Which is where, like, the Tampa-Florida rivalry has reached, like, another level because they've been doing it for 5 years against each other. And I guess they play in the same state, if that matters as well. But that part, I guess you can see, like, that doesn't matter either. The Lightning are in the Sabres division. Tampa Bay, wait, what? They're in the same division with Buffalo? All right, if you're just both good at the same time, you'll be rivals. And that's already happened. Yeah, that would be... I really hope we get that series.
Stat of the day. This came from Mike Clay. Got audio of him talking about this. I sent this to Joe Kelly. That, we know the Sabres have been good, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mike Clay of ESPN?
Sorry, Mike Kelly.
Mike Kelly.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Mike Kelly.
They both live in the advanced stat world, just in...
That's right.
Yeah, different aspects.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like, okay. The Sabres have had a lead in the last 27 games.
They've had a lead?
Yeah.
In 27 games
27 consecutive games they've had a lead.
Wow.
They've won a lot, so you're like, well,
yeah,
but
right.
Even the games that they've lost, they have had a lead in 27 consecutive games.
Right, because a couple come to mind. Anaheim, they're leading in the final 2 minutes.
Washington,
the game they lost in Tampa, they were leading with like 30 seconds left.
Yeah. The one home win against Washington, they scored first.
Right. Yeah.
27 consecutive games.
So what's the last? Do we know the last game that they didn't lead in?
I think, is it Carolina?
The Brandon Bussey game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be right. Which was coincidentally their last regulation road loss.
It was 1-1 at the end of the first, and they lost.
Darlene scored first.
Okay, so it's before that game. Sorry, my mistake. Before the Carolina game, I was trying to count backward there.
Is it since the new year?
Is it the January 12th Panthers game? Or is it the Blue Jackets game they lost 5-1?
I think they never led in the Florida game.
Okay, there you go. 27 consecutive games with the lead.
No Sabres game tonight. They're back in action tomorrow at home following their Western road trip. They'll host the Bruins at 7:30, which will start a 4-game homestand for them. Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff will join Jeremy and Joe coming up at 8 o'clock this morning as well. The madness is on hold for a few days in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. The Sweet 16 round gets underway Thursday night, starting right around 7:10. We're 1 month out from the NFL draft and less than 1 week out from the owners' meetings. Looking around the NFL, The Seahawks signed wide receiver Jake Bobo to a 2-year, $5.5 million contract, and the Chiefs re-signed tight end Travis Kelce to a 3-year, $54.735 million deal. And ESPN's Adam Schefter believes Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson will be a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Baseball is back. Opening night is live on Netflix tomorrow, March 25th. Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees clash with Rafael Devers and the San Francisco Giants. MLB opening night, Yankees-Giants live on Netflix tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Join WGR Chopin Bulldog Wednesday, March 25th at the Ride for Roswell kickoff. Stop by Roswell Park between 5 and 7:30 p.m. for drinks, food, and a special panel with Dr. Candace Johnson on why cancer research matters. Plus, take a tour and see the donor-funded innovation happening right now. Don't miss it. Let's ride together for a cure. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali on Western New York's Voice of the Fans, WGR.
I know he has the drop problems, and sometimes he claps at the ball, but other times I think it's mostly a focus issue. At least on the film that I've watched from this past year, I think it's more of like a focus issue than an attack issue necessarily. Mm-hmm. I think he is just a guy that is going to help in offense, no question. And I actually compared him he's somewhere between Jaden Reed and Stephon Diggs.
Matt Harmon of Reception Perception on KC Concepcion. Good morning, Jeremy and Joe. Joe here producing, Owen Parker running the stream and hanging out as well. All just hanging out, making the show better like they do every day. And we're happy to have your phone calls, 803-0550. We talked Sabres in the first hour. You can, jump at us with that if you want. They play tomorrow. We'll be watching Boston tonight, Boston hosting Toronto, and also the Lightning host Minnesota. Mm-hmm. So a lot of Sabres there. Lindy Ruff at 8 o'clock. I wanted to get to wide receiver reluctantly, if we could. I put up a Twitter poll about the addition of DJ Moore. Does it take wide receiver off the board for you in the first round? Mm-hmm. And it's an overwhelming no, it does not. DJ Moore, the trade for DJ Moore does not take wide receiver out of the mix for the voters in the first round. Like, what will the Bills do? What would you do? And yesterday on the station, if you listened a lot, yesterday felt like KC Concepcion Day.
Yeah.
Texas A&M wide receiver, first-round talent. The Bills reportedly are having him in for a top 30 visit. And, the top 30 visit, it's a very small thing to argue about if you want to. But over the years, I've looked at the top 30 visits as players the Bills want to draft, right?
Right.
It's a second date in a lot of cases. You go to the combine, you have pro days, you can have private workouts, Zoom calls, you can have a lot of things. But 30 players you get to invite back to your place and say, let's have you take a look around. We'd like to show you what we have here. So maybe if you do get picked, you can get excited about this. I know there could be medical stuff in there as well. You're checking this and that. But for me, at the Combine, Joe, the Combine was pre-DJ Moore trade, and they met with all the receivers at the top of the draft, except for Tate. I don't think they met with Tate, and maybe not Lemon. Everybody else, Tyson, Concepcion, Omar Cooper, Denzel Boston, they met with all of them. And I thought, all right, good. They're showing us that this is the caliber of receiver they could consider adding. Then they trade for more.
Right.
And I said earlier this week, I'm really waiting to see what receivers come in for top 30 visits. And I kind of fully expected to see your third, fourth, fifth-round guys. There was a Malik Benson report in there. There's a Chris Bell, Louisville. He has an ACL. He tore his ACL, so he might be like a day 2, late day 3 guy. And then there it is, Concepcion. Mm-hmm. And that is there's no way on earth he's going to make it to you in the third round. If you are talking to him, maybe your contingency plan is like if he falls to 26, or if we get out of the first round and drop into the early second, maybe he makes it there. I don't know. I don't want to go too far on one player making a visit, but yesterday was, whether it's hearing from Matt Harmon, here in the afternoon show, here in Sal, it felt like a lot of talk about KC Concepcion and the receiver conversation, which, of course, does not go away. And we've wanted them to double down in years past. It feels like the people we talk to and fans are as open to this idea as ever before.
And it's mostly because the reasons why you would have done this years ago, right? It's that the guy is cheap. That it's the cost control aspect of it, it's the youth of it, it's the upside of it. And it could be even, I don't know, you just watch Jackson Smith and Jigba go nuts in a million games on the Seahawks' way to winning the Super Bowl, and a desire for a player of that caliber with Josh Allen. It could be a lot of things. But it's why the package has always frustrated me, because more is nice to have, but he doesn't really fit the bill, I don't think, as the long-term solution to be your number one receiver. He's a nice player. He's better than anything you have, but
it's better than anything you've had for a while,
yeah,
right?
But does he block out a younger player that could be someone that goes with Josh Allen the rest of his career as a top option and as a separator and a guy that can do it all, like a Concepcion? Because, I invested a second-round pick and this contract in DJ Moore, and am I going to then go ahead and spend my first-round pick on a receiver? And with Concepcion, because I love the player. I think everybody seems to love the player, right? That's kind of where I get to, though, is why should I believe he's going to fall to 26? It's just drop problems?
It seems that that's the case, yes.
That's it?
Yes.
Because, I don't know, someone will get over that. I guess I'm tentative to believe that he'll get near the Bills because of his profile. But maybe there's not enough teams that need receivers, and Jordan Tyson someone falls in love with, and maybe it happens. So if he's there, I might be a little bit surprised. I would love the idea. I just don't know what their appetite really would be to spend their three biggest assets of an offseason on one position. Should I be open to that? That the more trade, because of what it costs, specifically blocking out that draft pick? Or do they think, no, it doesn't matter. We're just looking at our team as what the needs are. We still think this is a need. We don't care about the sunk cost fallacy of we traded for DJ Moore. That is a separate entity. We don't care about that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I phrased the question very specifically, which is, does it take it off the board for you? Because if we want to do play the player, not the game, play the Bills here, what will the Bills do? I might have a different opinion of trying to project what they do versus what I would do. And you said something key there, okay, Moore fixes one of their big problems that they had, which is a reliable boundary receiver that makes a difference that Josh Allen's going to throw the ball to. Bam, problem solved. How much are people thinking about the future of the position and the next wave? Because they did draft Coleman for this, and 2 years in, it's very much undetermined where it goes from here, right? But
it's not going well.
It's not going well. And Sal brought up a point on the afternoon show yesterday, which I thought was really interesting about Coleman. And, Joe Brady says the best thing that happens to him is I'm his head coach. We're going to do what it takes to make this work. All right, that's all great. Sal brought up the point, what happens if he lets them down again? He's late again. And you're in October, or he does something and you have to suspend him and bench him again. All of a sudden, you look like, whatever, you got egg on your face. You look bad. Oh, look at this. The guy you vouched for is still a problem. And if it happened again, any idea of moving him for value would probably crater even further. So,
if there's no getting something for him next year if it goes the same way it just did. He's cut at that point, right? He's Treylon Burks. He's just available as a street free agent, and somebody brings him in to be their sixth receiver. It's over for him if that's the way that it goes again, which is why I don't know that I should count on him being here next year. He's not. He might be here this year. He is not entering my thought process at all anymore for who's the future of the position.
Yeah.
The odds of him overcoming the maturity issues off the field to then get substantially better as a player on the field, because that has been a key component of him not succeeding in the first 2 years either. There's just way too much to overcome for him to be what? Their Gabe Davis of the future? I don't know what the end goal would be for Coleman at this point. What you're hoping to salvage. I don't see a guy on the depth chart right now that I should count on for years in advance, more than just 1 year, more than 2 years. Because And that could be why they would want to do it and say, listen, Moore is our Band-Aid. That trade, and he's a good player. We like him, but he patches a hole for us.
Right, in a way
we treat him as a Band-Aid. What we still do want is to not have to do that again in 2 years.
Right.
If we don't take a receiver and Moore has a good year or two and then he kind of ages out, guess what we're going to have to do again? We're going to have to do that veteran overpay move for a third time.
Yeah, you want to get kind of ahead of it instead of kind of battling from behind like you have been.
Right.
The other part of this for me is an 803-0550. Call up and I almost want people to call in and say, like, it's crazy. How could you possibly say this? Because, you know, that's where I am. If I'm predicting, no, I don't think they'll do that. But I'm very excited to see that I'm convincing myself that they might again. I do it all the time. The other part of this for me is the Joe Brady angle. So the Bills have a new head coach. And does that mean, I know he's the coach of the whole football team, and he's said a couple things along the way, like, I'm excited to cheer for a defensive player when he picks off Josh Allen, right? I'm the coach of the whole team now. I get that. Mm-hmm. Sean McVay is the coach of the whole team. Pick your other. Sean Payton is the coach of the whole team. When you're Joe Brady thinking, all right, well, what got me this job? What's the thing that's going to keep me in the job? Isn't the thing that keeps Joe Brady at the helm as long as possible if his offense is, sorry if I can borrow the Sabres' current term, a wagon? Mm-hmm. He'll never get fired. It will never be his fault. Like the Bills made the change at coach because their defense let them down. If it was the offense that let them down, Sean McDermott likely does not get blamed for that. He gets blamed for the defense letting them down. The defense gave up these points. And every single year we get to a season ending, like let's say the Bills have two more seasons where they lose in their final playoff game 33-30 again. Mm-hmm. What do people want? Get Jim Leonard out of here.
Right.
The way and I'm not saying like Brady has to look for self-preservation, but just your fastball, if you want to use it that way, or however you want to say it. If it's Sean McVay, is Sean McVay going out there and who are they rumored to trade for this year? They were looking for A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
They have Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Like, he wants to make sure I'm going to be on that side of the ball nonstop. And I wonder if the Joe Brady identity gets to a team that's just like, oh, no, now that I'm the coach, we will never, ever be one to want more at this position. It's about to be this player is one that I'm in love with. I think he reminds me of a young, insert whoever player Joe Brady would have loved along the way. So I wonder about the offensive identity if he is going to be more pass happy and thinks we need more pass catchers. And sure, we spent that second round pick, but this is a now and 4 to 5 year investment. Mm-hmm. And I'm planning on being the coach for 5 years minimum.
Right. Yeah.
Do I want to go that far with that?
It could be the case that ends up playing out. I'm still hesitant to buy that they are just going to be all of that. They're just going to unleash hell on the league. They are going to be the Warriors, which is often what I look to. Like when you're already the best. So I want to be better. I'm number 2, not good enough on offense. Number 3 on offense, not good enough. I need to be the best. I need to be the best of all time at the position because I have arguably the most talented quarterback of all time. I should be capable of being that. And 6th isn't good enough. But their actions have long spoken to they're good with the run game they've built and the physicality they've built, and they paid their running back, and he led the league in rushing. And unless there's I'm still waiting on the big identity change. I don't think more is that. I think more helps you. And I think more is satisfying a baseline at the position that should be required. To me, I would be so impressed and would be very excited if they went even further with it. Because to me, you do more on top of the DJ Moore move. That's a sign to me that I'm not good with just being the best rushing team in the league and sometimes being constipated and being just top 5. That is, I'm going to go be the number 1 offense in football. And to do that, what do I got to do? I got to be unstoppable. I got to be a passing offense that you can't shut down even if you're Houston.
Yeah.
That I don't care how good your defense is. That's how the Bills used to be. I saw you retweet a video of Allen in 2020.
Yeah.
And him in his first couple of years when he broke out. I remember they played the Niners. They played Fangio's Broncos once. They played they would play top level defenses
and shred them,
and it just wouldn't matter. They would just destroy them. And now that's not the case. They play a great defense. That great defense is going to have a really good shot of stuff in them. And if they decided, yeah, that's why we should go even further in on a position we've already spent a ton on this offseason, I would just be really impressed, and I would also be surprised. I think pass rusher. I think it's going to be pass rusher.
So do I. If we're predicting, yeah, I do too. But if is it off the board for you? I mean, you never have to ask me. I'm just dreaming of, the draft happens, and then out comes the graphic from whichever NFL account wants to do it. Who's stopping this offense? I want that graphic.
I mean, they really are, right. They are one move away from that.
From looking like the Monstars.
That's another part of, I'm not saying you should draft KC Concepcion because, while I need to think about who's replacing DJ Moore in 2 years when he probably is aged out at that point, it's, no, I would like an answer to that question too, but then in the meantime, I have both of them. I have a guy that's in his prime, hopefully still, in DJ Moore, and I have a guy that is going to be young and developing. It's maybe kind of like what Seattle was. Seattle wins the Super Bowl. JSN became prime version of himself overnight. He goes from a really good receiver to, he's the best in the sport. But what was he in the first 2 years? He wasn't the best receiver in football yet, but he was pretty good, and then they had DK Metcalf. And they had Tyler Lockett still. And they were a competitive team when they didn't even have a good quarterback. They had the benefit of, while he's developing into the fullest form of himself, JSN, he's a part of a great core overall. And that could be the dynamic you would have between a DJ Moore and a KC Concepcion. I don't have to have Concepcion be my best player on offense in year one because I've got more for that while he figures out how to become the best version of himself.
Yep.
Whereas Coleman, it kind of felt like he showed up. You got to be it right away.
You forced him, yeah. You kind of forced him into a spot.
Threw him into the fire. You've got to be one of our top guys immediately.
Right. Looking back, it was Coleman, at the time, it was Coleman, Curtis Samuel, MVS, Mac Hollins.
And Shakir.
You really asked Coleman to be a lot.
But nobody else on the outside ever proved that they could do anything. So it was all right, Keon.
Yeah.
It's you. Until at least, Amari Cooper showed up.
803-0550. Larry and Clarence on this. Hey, Larry, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are we doing today?
Good.
I think your last statement just kind of hit it on the head, what I was talking about, or going to talk about. I think DJ Moore is your perfect bridge receiver. He's a guy that can come in and be your bridge number one while you draft a young guy, whether it's Concepcion, Boston, somebody else. Let them kind of learn on the job, and then you're hoping at minimum their floor this year is a solid number two, where you've got Shakir, you can keep him in the slot. And then whether it's next year, whether it's the year after, maybe you go another second or third round where you're hoping Concepcion in a year or two can kind of slide into that first spot, and then you draft another younger guy that can maybe fill that second role. I don't think I think once they did more, in my opinion, once they picked up more, I think it kind of made them almost more likely to draft a wide receiver. That way, again, you had a guy ahead of him that could teach him, learn from, and develop instead of Coleman, who just simply wasn't ready right off the jump.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry, for the phone call. And on the Moore trade, making it more likely, I might have a tough time.
I can't get there because of what the pick they spent was.
Yeah, and the reality is, the thing I'm very happy about DJ Moore being a Bill and think he's the best receiver they've had since Stephon Diggs. Drilling down on the thing about it that gives me the most pause, it would have been that it stops this from happening, which I think it might have stopped this from happening. So that's why I kind of move on to, all right, third round, fourth round. There are good ideas there. There are good options there. I've been so convinced they're going to do somebody on the defensive line. But
should that be, though, where the Concepcion visit means something in that, I've pointed out a lot, that the guys they had in for visits and talked to in previous drafts, last year especially, were not guys that they were spending their first-round pick on. They were guys that were in like the third round or later primarily.
And that's where
And if
I want to
they
see,
had-
is there going to be another one? Are we going to see Denzel Boston announced soon? Are we going to see
Maybe.
Jordan Tyson, Omar Cooper?
Well, if we do, like, this is maybe the first that we've seen, and maybe there are more to come. But if you've decided we just spent a second-round pick and this contract on DJ Moore, we've got Josh Palmer, like, we're good. We are set at that position. If there's a guy that falls like crazy, then sure. But why do we need to spend one of our visits and spend our time on a position that we're just not likely to? Like, you're not going to bring in a running back in the first round for a visit.
No, you wouldn't think so. You only get
You're
30
not-
visits. You get private. You get
Right,
a lot of.
There are limits on which position you're going to really be looking at. Why are you still looking at guys that are first-round caliber prospects? That's what you did at the Combine, and it's what you're still doing now, at least with one guy, on a top 30 visit. This is not your, I'm going to pick a receiver in the fourth round and he'll develop. This is, I don't even know if he'll be there at 26. Like, maybe that should give me a little bit of optimism. I don't like to take too much stock into those, but maybe it should be a little bit of a sign of, no, they are not closed to this idea.
Well, let me ask,
And that's kind of where I thought they would be. I thought it would just be closed door. We are not touching receiver after what we just did with DJ Moore.
right. And especially, I almost want to read it this way. Without that second-round pick, it's not, well, you never know. And, like, Sal will make the point, and he's not wrong, to say, well, you do your homework on a player because maybe in 4 years this guy becomes available. Like, maybe. You never close doors, but my simplest...
But if you're right about the player, he'll never become available to you.
That's probably right. My simplest answer is the Bills bring in players for visits that they like. It seems like you don't have to go any further than that. Players they like. That's who comes in. Mm-hmm. Players you don't like, why would you waste your time? To find out, I was only bringing him in to find out if he's a jerk. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe you like a player and you have questions about character or questions about, I don't know. I just think it's very simple. They bring in who they like. 803-0550. One other question about the draft. Like, zoom out. Brandon Beane's been here drafting for the Buffalo Bills for nearly a decade. Like, it's been a long time. He's had a lot of good picks. Had a couple picks that are high-profile misses. Like, a lot of GMs have hits and misses. Do you feel like, especially these last couple seasons, like the draft is funny because it's what do we need right now? But also that player's on your team for 5 years. So It's what you need long-term. When they take Hairston, it's because, they need corner 2. All right, yeah, they need corner. Now he's here. Don't need corner 2. When it's Rousseau, when it's Elam, when it's Coleman, these have all been players that, they need long-term, and they also need immediately. And whenever we do this with, if it's receiver, it feels like they need that less immediately than they do defensive end. But they definitely need both. Would they take a guard because they need that immediately and in the future? Would they in the third round take a tackle if the value's too good? You're like, well, Deion Dawkins gets to a point. We see teams take players that maybe don't have a clear path right away, but you just know this value's too good. We have to take this player because we're taking the best players available to build it out. Your needs change from year to year. Your needs change even within the year. Because that conversation at receiver is very much alive, and so it's also at defensive end. I just wonder if Beane is feeling the more is the now move, and whatever happens in the first round of the draft, which is their next biggest asset, that's, all right, it could be a safety. It could be Mel Kiper mocked them a corner. That feels ridiculous, right? A corner?
Yeah.
Linebacker, of course. I've got a new defense. I got to build it. Could a linebacker jump in right away?
See, this is where I started talking myself into, okay, yeah, they could really do it at receiver because the long-term need is still there. And now I'm thinking, how has Brandon Beane talked about the Stephon Diggs trade over the years? Whenever it's come up about receiver and like the idea of picking one in the first round, he's often said, he's treated it as though he spent a first-round pick on Stephon Diggs, that he picked Diggs in the first round. Like, that was a first-round pick. You would say that about Moore.
Mm-hmm.
I spent my second-round pick on a wide receiver. And while I can sit here and say, because of DJ Moore's age in the season he just had, like, you should be thinking about his decline and whether in not having him at peak powers in 2 years. what did they just tell you with the contract? And even Bean, I think, said it in a couple of the different interviews he's done over the last week or so. But what does the contract tell you? The contract tells you they think he's going to do it for more than 2 years. They think he's doing it for 3 at least, and maybe 4. The guaranteed salary in 2028. Like, that's where I just have a really hard time getting all the way to they are going to do it. They're going to pick one of these receivers that are really exciting, Concepcion especially, in round 1. Because I don't know that they look at DJ Moore as a Band-Aid. I think they are looking at him as a long-term solution.
DJ Moore turns 29 next month, right around the start of the Sabres playoffs. To give that point, like that age, doesn't have to be the same situation. Like, he jumped in the league. He was 21 years old when he started. Diggs was 22 when he started. Miles on the tire, however you want to say it. Mm-hmm. All I wanted to get to was DJ Moore will be 29. Diggs' age 29 season, he was great. 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. Right there, age 29 season is when we started to say, would you think about starting to plan for the next guy? And Gabe Davis is on that team and kind of looking like he's an emerging player. They kind of elevate him to number 1. It doesn't go very well. It goes okay, but we all kind of knew he wasn't a number 1. All I'm getting at is the conversation about starting the pipeline at post-Diggs was his age 29 season. Age 30 season for Diggs is his last year with the Bills. 1 year later, it was over.
Right.
So if you look at the timeline for that, you might think, all right, well, Moore's going to give us more time because the relationship won't fray. We'll get 3 years. Do you start ticking the clock on the replacement now? If you don't do it now, whatever, you can do it in the 3rd round and strike gold and be just as happy. 803-0550. Yesterday on the station, lots of chatter about KC Concepcion out of Texas A&M. So we're talking about it with you, 803-0550. Lindy Ruff at 8 o'clock on the Sabres as they begin a homestand. Lightning start a homestand tonight with the Minnesota Wild. Big out-of-town scoreboard day. And Ottawa-Detroit. That is a big, big game. Very big for the Red Wings. I mean, Ottawa too, but it feels like Ottawa's like 14-3-1 in their last 18 games.
Yeah. They're on fire.
They're on fire, and the Red Wings are faltering. So Ottawa wins. I feel like Detroit might feel buried. So that's tonight.
Dylan Larkin is a game-time decision I saw. He's been out, and he's probably going to push through it to play, given the magnitude of the game, I'd imagine.
803-0550. Jeremy and Joe here on WGR.
Hey, Buffalo, it's Sneaky Joe. We are talking some football.
I said earlier this week, I'm really waiting to see what receivers come in for top 30 visits. And I kind of fully expected to see your 3rd, 4th, 5th round guys. There was a Malik Benson report in there. There's a Chris Bell, Louisville. He has an ACL. He tore his ACL, so he might be like a day 2, late day 3 guy. And then there it is, Concepcion. Mm-hmm. And that is there's no way on earth he's going to make it to you in the 3rd round. If you are talking to him, maybe your contingency plan is like if he falls to 26, or if we get out of the 1st round and drop into the early 2nd, maybe he makes it there. I don't know. I don't want to go too far on one player making a visit, but yesterday was, whether it's hearing from Matt Harmon, here in the afternoon show, here in Sal, it felt like a lot of talk about Casey Concepcion and the receiver conversation, which, of course, does not go away. And we've wanted them to double down in years past. It feels like the people we talk to and fans are as open to this idea as ever before.
And it's mostly because the reasons why you would have done this years ago, right? It's that the guy is cheap. That it's the cost control aspect of it, it's the youth of it, it's the upside of it. And it could be even, I don't know, you just watch Jackson Smith and Jigba go nuts in a million games on the Seahawks' way to winning the Super Bowl. And a desire for a player of that caliber with Josh Allen. It could be a lot of things. But more, it's why the package has always frustrated me, because more is nice to have, but he doesn't really fit the bill, I don't think, as the long-term solution to be your number one receiver. He's a nice player. He's better than anything you have, but
it's better than anything you've had for a while,
yeah,
right?
But does he block out a younger player that could be someone that goes with Josh Allen the rest of his career as a top option and as a separator and a guy that can do it all, like a Concepcion? Because while I invested a second-round pick and this contract in DJ Moore, and am I going to then go ahead and spend my first-round pick on a receiver?
How much are people thinking about the future of the position and the next wave? Because they did draft Coleman for this, and 2 years in, it's very much undetermined where it goes from here, right? But
it's not going well.
It's not going well. And Sal brought up a point on the afternoon show yesterday, which I thought was really interesting about Coleman. And, you know, Joe Brady says the best thing that happens to him is I'm his head coach. We're going to do what it takes to make this work. All right, that's all great. Sal brought up the point, what happens if he lets them down again? He's late again. And you're in October, or he does something and you have to suspend him and bench him again. All of a sudden, you look like, you know, whatever, you got egg on your face. You look bad. Like, oh, look at this. The guy you vouched for is still a problem. And if it happened again, any idea of like moving him for value would probably crater even further. So,
if there's no getting something for him next year if it goes the same way it just did. He's cut at that point, right? He's Treylon Burks. He's just available as a street free agent, and somebody brings him in to be their sixth receiver. Like, it's over for him if that's the way that it goes again, which is why I don't know that I should count on him being here next year. Like, he might be here this year. He is not entering my thought process at all anymore for, like, who's the future of the position.
Yeah.
Like, the odds of him overcoming the maturity issues off the field to then get substantially better as a player on the field, because that has been a key component of him not succeeding in the first 2 years either. There's just way too much to overcome for him to be what? They're Gabe Davis of the future. Like, I don't know what the end goal would be for Coleman at this point.
No Sabres game tonight. They're back in action tomorrow at home. Following their Western road trip, they will host the Bruins at 7:30, which will start a 4-game homestand for them. The Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff joins Jeremy and Joe coming up right at 8 o'clock. The madness is on hold for a few days in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. The Sweet 16 round gets underway Thursday night starting around 7:10. And we're 1 month out from the NFL draft and less than 1 week out from the owners' meetings. And looking around the NFL, the Seahawks have signed wide receiver Jake Bobo to a 2-year, $5.5 million deal. ESPN's Adam Schefter believes Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson will be a first-round pick, in the 2026 NFL draft. And the Chiefs re-signed tight end Travis Kelce to a 3-year, $54.735 million deal. Baseball is back. Opening night is live on Netflix. Tomorrow, March 25th, Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees clash with Rafael Devers in the San Francisco Giants. MLB opening night, Yankees-Giants, live on Netflix tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Those are your Paddock Chevrolet sports headlines. Paddock Chevrolet, with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Callie on Western New York's Voice of the Fans, WGR.
Iowa hits a three with 4.5 seconds. Florida does not have any timeouts. They are down one. They're going to have to go. And the referee does this, stops it for 2 minutes to review if there needs to be 4.6, 4.8, or 5.0 on the clock. The idea that you are going to get a more true and fair result by getting the clock right, but giving both teams time to draw play, gather themselves, talk about it, all of it, is just incorrect.
I agree.
You're just wrong. That is not, we've got to get it right. That is using technology in the worst way imaginable. And so listen, this is a cudgel of mine. I don't like replay in sports in general, but in particular, when you are stopping it without the game being stopped otherwise.
Nick Wright.
You Syracuse guys and
What
your replay rants.
What a genius. He's so right. He's so right. The end of the Iowa-Florida game, they're talking about the replay. They hit the shot with 3.9 seconds left, and they don't have timeouts. They are gifted 2 minutes to discuss things because they make sure they put the right 1/10 of a second on the clock. Mm-hmm. It is so correct from him. Well, we want to get it right. Make sure we have the right number of seconds on the clock. Oh, so you just will give a team a free timeout to talk about it? Absolutely bang on. There is a happy medium, though. You want to see something wild? Mm-hmm. Go check, speaking of Syracuse, go check Keith Smart's game winner against Syracuse. Put it up with the clock on. Keith Smart in 1987 for Indiana. This is just before I actually remember sports. Like, I grew up a Syracuse fan. I went to Syracuse. And I do not remember this game. So when people would mention to me Syracuse losing the championship and Keith Smart, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, I know that it happened. Syracuse missed a free throw like they tended to do. And then Keith Smart hits a game-winning shot. And this is going back in time for you young'uns out there. First off, there aren't 10ths of seconds on the clock.
No, they're not.
And Keith Smart hits this shot with 4 seconds left. And it ticks all the way down to 1. And they do not put time back on that clock.
Yeah.
So that means Indiana's title in 1987 is, of course, illegitimate. Syracuse would have won. So maybe there's a medium. There's a little bit of a, I don't need the difference between 3.9 and 4.2, but let's make sure 3 full seconds go off the clock in 1987 when he hits that shot. And I believe it might be
4-1, and nobody even
no. And it's who's the guy? It's not Bill Raftery. It's the other one. Maybe it's Raftery. Like, nobody stopped the clock. Nobody stopped the clock. They just let time tick off, and they robbed them of that chance. So anyway, there's got to be a better way to do almost everything that we do with replay. There's just got to be a better way.
The timeout point is right. Like, you are affecting the game there by giving both coaches an additional timeout that they then don't have to use one of their own timeouts.
Right, the whole thing about college basketball and the madness is it's supposed to be a frenzy. The end of that Santa Clara, Kentucky game was a frenetic 2 points here, 3 points here, 3 points there, and it all happened in 11 seconds with no stoppages.
Although, did you see it wasn't much of a controversy, but did you see what happened at the end of that game? The coach was Santa Clara was trying to call a timeout immediately after the bucket went in, and the referee didn't look at him.
After his three went
in, he wanted to call timeout. He was trying to call timeout, and I saw, was it who's on the CBS broadcast? I forget. But one of the people on the studio show for CBS after was making the point that ref is supposed to look immediately at the coach to see if he wants a timeout, and he never looked at him one time. So there was an attempt at a stoppage in that game, but there wasn't. And it made for a better moment, by the way.
Sure.
No timeouts and stoppages in the last 30 seconds.
If I can't win on a platform of getting rid of replay,
see,
can we have a platform of the fewer timeouts your sport has, the better?
Right.
College basketball.
So many timeouts.
There are so many timeouts.
Way too many timeouts.
There are TV timeouts in addition to actual timeouts, and the team will call it. Like, there's so many timeouts. Hockey, how many timeouts you get? One.
Right.
See you later. You don't even use it most games.
And free throw stuff gets it dragged down too.
College
as well.
basketball is. Listen, I'm not mad about the sport in general, but if we're going to lose the game to replay and to rules officials and to clock operators, I want to go ahead and take away one timeout each because you're going to got to get one anyway.
See, I don't mind if there's a replay for, like, the ball went off a guy's knee and they called it the wrong way. Or it's a goaltending off the glass clearly and they called it the wrong way. But when you're doing it for tenths of a second on the clock, that's too far.
No.
Like, that in that point, because the result of that review isn't as impactful, as Nick Wright said, as the timeouts you're giving the coach.
Mm-hmm.
The impact of, we're going to count 2 points or not here, that's greater than the timeout.
Sure.
But 0.2 of a second is ridiculous. If you think it's 3 seconds, like in this play, then I guess it's okay.
Could we get how about this? Here's a let's get stupid idea. You guys poke holes in this if you want to. We have plenty of rules in sports where the time that is left determines the rule, right? Fumbling in the NFL under 2 minutes, the person has to recover under. All right. In the NBA, you need more than 0.3 for a catch and shoot.
Yeah.
That's a rule. If it's less than 0.3 or whatever, then you have to tip it in.
Yeah.
All right. Starting now in college basketball, if there are less than 3 seconds left, less than 2 seconds left, we will maybe stop and look at tenths of seconds. But if there's 4.2, we're not stopping that for you. Sorry.
Right.
We're not getting into the tenths of seconds when there's 6.6 on the clock.
Mm-hmm. Because you could do that for every play throughout the entire game.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that Iowa, the other thing about Iowa and Florida in that game, so if you watched it, I thought there was a great conversation about what Florida should have done. You're up 2. The only thing you don't want to do is give up a 3. And
right.
Boy, what game was it? St. John's, Kansas. Did you watch the end of that game? The end of that game, the guy hits a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
And right the sequence before that, if you were not watching, Kansas had only committed 2 fouls the entire half. Mm-hmm. So St. John's is not in the bonus. And what can you do in that scenario? St. John's inbounds the ball, Kansas foul. Inbound, foul.
Mm-hmm.
Inbound, foul.
And this is taking time.
And St. John's is kind of also okay with it because, well, we're going for the last shot anyway, and they're just going to make us take it down from 14 seconds down to a 1-possession, 5-second clock.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically what happened. And the St. John's guy hit the shot. But Kansas fouled them all the way right up to the point where they would have been in the bonus, and another foul would have put them at the free throw line.
Right.
Anyway, what I'm getting to about Florida and Iowa is you're up 2, they've got the ball, there's 13 seconds left. If you are in the bonus, foul. Make them make 2, and you get the ball back. It's basically
you're up 2.
It's basically saying, would I rather have you down 2 and you have the ball, or tied and I have it? What's a better scenario? Up 2, you have the ball, or tied and I've got it. Any shot wins for me.
Yeah.
When you have it, there's only one way for me to lose. If I have the ball and it's tied, I'm not going to lose. Not in regulation.
I mean, he also doesn't need to make the free throws. So
right? He might. If you're in just not the double bonus, but the single, he's got to make the first one and then to even earn the second one.
That would be one where Maybe could I go Gutalytics on this one? And I want to know how good of a shooting team I'm going up against. Like the St. John's Kansas game, neither team could shoot the entire game. Like in that instance, I'm gonna take my odds that you're not gonna make a 3 on me because you're not a good shooting team.
Sure.
But if I'm playing, some team that's got 3 guys out there that are sharpshooters, yeah, I'm terrified of losing. Then I would be totally okay.
But we already know if you're up 3, often coaches will foul.
That for sure.
You're only going to get 2 free throws.
That happens.
So I'm doing that because if I foul you there.
But doing it up 2.
Do it up 2. Foul up 2. Worst case scenario, I have the ball with a chance to win. You're going to make your 2 free throws. Best case, I guess there's a scenario where you miss one and
in
get
the Florida-Iowa instance, though, I don't know, was there enough time on the clock for them to have a time for a good shot?
For Florida?
Yeah, if they had done this.
Yeah,
if they had fouled out Iowa, would they have they would have had 10 seconds left? I forgot how much time was on the clock.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because when Fulgaris makes the shot, there's still 4 seconds left.
Okay.
So
okay, right. So if you had fouled, 5 seconds.
When
earlier.
they inbound the ball, there's 8.9. Maybe they wanted to, and Iowa runs a play where the guard gets into space. And they actually never can foul.
If you watch the play back, right, where would it have happened?
You would have held right away. You would have put your arm.
Right, you would have had to do it before.
You would have bear hugged that guy, get called for a foul.
Because by the time the play is going, no one's ever actually near enough to an Iowa player that has the ball to do it.
Yeah. It was the double bonus. So, if you're Florida there, you give them 2 free throws and say, we'll take the ball. It's probably what they should have done. Anyway, 803-0550. Lindy Ruff, top of the hour. Jeremy and Joe, a little basketball talk. March Madness returns on Thursday. With the Sweet 16. Join us. And stay tuned for Lindy coming up. Stat of the day. This came from Mike Clay. Got audio of him talking about this. I sent this to Joe Kelly. That, we know the Sabres have been good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mike Clay of ESPN?
Sorry, Mike Kelly.
Mike Kelly.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Mike Kelly.
They both live in the advanced stat world, just in...
That's right.
Yeah, different aspects.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. The Sabres have had a lead in the last 27 games.
They've had a lead?
Yeah.
In 27 games
27 consecutive games, they've had a lead.
Wow.
They've won a lot, so you're like, well,
yeah,
but
right.
Even the games that they've lost, they have had a lead in 27 consecutive games.
Right, because a couple come to mind. Anaheim, they're leading in the final 2 minutes.
Washington,
the game they lost in Tampa, they were leading with 30 seconds left.
Yeah. The one home win against Washington, they scored first.
Right. Yeah.
27 consecutive games.
So what's the last? Do we know the last game that they didn't lead in?
I think, is it Carolina?
The Brandon Bussey game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be right. Which was coincidentally their last regulation road loss.
It was 1-1 at the end of the first, and they lost.
No, Darlene scored first.
Okay, so it's before that game. Sorry. My mistake. Before the Carolina game. I was trying to count backward there.
Is it since the new year?
Is it the January 12th Panthers game? Or is it the Blue Jackets game they lost 5-1?
I think they never led in the Florida game.
Okay, there you go. 27 consecutive games with the lead. All I'm getting at is if the Sabres and Lightning do meet and that collision course matchup happens in the second round, I mean, the emotions we will feel, the instant built rivalry. Isn't it so funny how the NHL, the entire playoff format exists in an attempt to create rivalries? And the Sabres and Lightning, maybe not for Tampa. Maybe they're still coming along. I'm hating the Sabres. We'll see. The Sabres and Lightning could have the most intense one that we've had for the Sabres in a decade kind of bubble up in the span of 2 months.
Right. All of the pent-up energy would have been from 2 regular season games at most, really. And... bam, we're in the playoffs and we're rivals.
And we hate each other.
Yeah.
And we absolutely, and the fans are full throat, absolutely despise this team.
I mean, isn't that really all it took? Because even the Ottawa rivalry was a blip. It didn't.
No,
It was not. There was none of it pre-lockout.
It bubbled up, lasted 2 years,
was
and then those teams were bad.
Over by 2007. So it was a 2-year flash, but it was intense for 2 years. Like, that's really all that matters. If you're good at the same time, it takes a minute to get there, right? Which is where, like, the Tampa-Florida rivalry has reached, like, another level because they've been doing it for 5 years against each other. And I guess they play in the same state, if that matters as well. But that part, I guess you can see, like, that doesn't matter either. The Lightning are in the Sabres division. Tampa Bay, wait, what? They're in the same division with Buffalo? All right, if you're just both good at the same time, you'll be rivals. And that's already happened. Yeah, that would be... I really hope we get that series.
Stat of the day. This came from Mike Clay. Got audio of him talking about this. I sent this to Joe Kelly. That, we know the Sabres have been good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mike Clay of ESPN?
Sorry, Mike Kelly.
Mike Kelly.
I do that all the
NHL
time.
Network. Yeah.
Mike Kelly.
They both live in the advanced stat world, just in...
That's right.
Yeah, different aspects.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, okay. The Sabres have had a lead in the last 27 games.
They've had a lead?
Yeah.
In 27 games
27 consecutive games, they've had a lead.
Wow.
They've won a lot, so you're like, well,
yeah,
but
right.
even the games that they've lost, they have had a lead in 27 consecutive games.
Right, because a couple come to mind. Anaheim, they're leading in the final 2 minutes.
Washington,
the game they lost in Tampa, they were leading with like 30 seconds left.
Yeah. The one home win against Washington, they scored first.
Right. Yeah.
27 consecutive games.
So what's the last? Do we know the last game that they didn't lead in?
I think, is it Carolina?
The Brandon Bussey game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contest time. B caller 5 to win a pair of tickets to see Bryan Adams with special guests Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo at KeyBank Center Friday, August 14th, courtesy of Live Nation. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Neil Giraldo? I'll have to text Howard. He's going to be very excited Pat Benatar's coming. 803-0550. Yellowstone's getting another spinoff, I just saw. You watch Yellowstone?
I am in. We're watching it right now, actually.
Okay.
Season 4. I'm into it. I like it.
It's
making me want to go to Montana.
Well, yes.
Which I'm assuming most people have that experience when they watch the show. I would like to go to Montana. It looks beautiful.
Yeah. Well,
I don't even know if it's actually shot in Montana. I would assume it is.
By the way, caller 5 to 2214 WGR. Sorry, don't call the main line. Yeah, there's already one spinoff, the Marshalls show with Casey.
I've seen commercials.
Yeah, I've not seen that show. But they're going to do a spinoff with Rip and Beth.
Okay.
Spoiler, by the way.
I was going to say,
you're watching the show, now that I've told you there's a spinoff.
I already knew. I thought about this when I saw they've been advertising for that show, Marshalls, during the NCAA tournament. This is what you get when you watch a show years later.
Right.
Is, there's a spinoff with Casey in it.
So
right?
he lives.
I guess, after we finish season 3, I guess he survives that. Huh?
Right.
We knew that.
That's on you. Yeah, statute of limitations,
Yeah. Still enjoyable.
Yeah. 803-0550.
Isn't Bulldog going to Montana?
I think he is. Yeah.
It's like someone's going to Montana.
Yeah. Owen's like, he
Montana?
is? I'm pretty sure he is.
So I thought someone said on the station recently they're going to Montana.
By the way, something we should monitor. The Ty Simpson chatter, they're talking about it right now on ESPN. The Ty Simpson chatter is something should be on the Bills' radar. They're going to be a team that would be targeted to trade out for a team that wants to get in the first for Ty Simpson. QB.
Field Yates has that.
You're right. That's something right now
Arizona?
suggesting trading up to 26 with the Bills. Lindy Ruff on the other side. Sabres have an off day today. We'll talk about their practice schedule if, in fact, they got a chance to practice. Boston tomorrow at KeyBank Center. And the game here on WGR.
I mean, we'll get Party in the Plaza details at some point, I'm assuming, too. That might not be till they clinch.
I've never gone to one of those.
You've never been?
No, I was either at the game, going into the game, or I was at a local establishment that was not the Plaza. So I never watched a Sabres game party in the Plaza.
Does it appeal to you?
I think so. They've got a big television, right?
Big screen.
And they sell beer?
So the only thing, obviously,
okay.
I have not been to one since I was in high school. Maybe I was in college. There was no French Connection statue at the time. So you lose fair enough. Like, it's a great statue. There is a little less room than there used to be. You also would want to stand directly behind it because the screen was usually put up kind of where the entry gate is or on that side. I guess they could put the screen somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know how they want to do it. Could they put it up where the mural is? That feels like, in terms of where it is, the easiest for everybody to get a look at it.
Right.
I don't know. What I remember it being, though, is just one big TV kind of in the corner by where the entry gate was. And I don't remember whether they were selling beer or not because I don't think I would have been able to get it.
Did they block off that street?
Yes, I think they did.
It feels like you should block off
I think they did.
that street multiple. Again, it's one of these things that's.
Oh, did they? No, I'm pretty sure they did.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, though. Maybe someone else that would remember more clearly.
I got to check pictures. Yeah, I was never at one of those. I was always, for the playoffs in 05, 06, 06, 07, I think I went to most of the games. Not all, but most. Mm-hmm. And I would always be in the arena. Like, they check in on the Jumbotron. Let's check in on the Plaza. And everybody's out there having a great time. How much are people thinking about the future of the position and the next wave? Because they did draft Coleman for this, and 2 years in, it's very much undetermined where it goes from here, right? But
it's not going well.
It's not going well. And Sal brought up a point on the afternoon show yesterday, which I thought was really interesting about Coleman. And, Joe Brady says the best thing that happens to him is I'm his head coach. We're going to do what it takes to make this work. All right, that's all great. Sal brought up the point, what happens if he lets them down again? He's late again. And you're in October, or he does something and you have to suspend him and bench him again. All of a sudden, you look like, whatever, you got egg on your face. You look bad. Like, oh, look at this. The guy you vouched for is still a problem. And if it happened again, any idea of like moving him for value would probably crater even further. So,
oh, yeah. If there's no getting something for him next year if it goes the same way it just did. He's cut at that point, right? He's Treylon Burks. He's just available as a street free agent, and somebody brings him in to be their sixth receiver. Like, it's over for him if that's the way that it goes again, which is why I don't know that I should count on him being here next year. Like, he might be here this year. He is not entering my thought process at all anymore for, like, who's the future of the position.
Yeah.
Like, the odds of him overcoming the maturity issues off the field to then get substantially better as a player on the field, because that has been a key component of him not succeeding in the first 2 years either. There's just way too much to overcome for him to be what? They're Gabe Davis of the future. Like, I don't know what the end goal would be for Coleman at this point.
No Sabres game tonight. They're back in action tomorrow at home following their Western Road trip. They'll host the Bruins at 7:30, which will start a 4-game homestand for them. Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff joins Jeremy and Joe coming up next. The madness is on hold for a few days in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. The Sweet 16 round gets underway on Thursday night, starting right around 7:10. 1 month away from the NFL draft and less than 1 week out from the owners' meetings. Looking around the NFL, the Seahawks signed wide receiver Jake Bobo to a 2-year, $5.5 million deal. The Chiefs re-signed tight end Travis Kelce to a 3-year, $54.735 million contract. And ESPN's Adam Schefter believes Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson will be a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL draft. Baseball is back. Opening night is live on Netflix tomorrow, March 25th. Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees clash with Rafael Devers and the San Francisco Giants. MLB opening night, Yankees-Giants, live on Netflix tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Join Bulldog and WGR in the fight against cancer by riding with the WGR Ride for Roswell team on Saturday, June 27th. When you sign up, you'll get a rider gift from WGR and Tom's Pro Bike on Walden Avenue in Lancaster. Not riding, you can still make a difference by donating to any of our team members. Every dollar goes directly to Roswell Park. Get all the details at WGR550.com. It's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Kelly on Western New York's Voice of the Fans, WGR.
Sabres home tomorrow. They'll play the Boston Bruins, starting a 4-game homestand. Bruins play tonight against the Leafs, and we'll see if the Sabres can keep things rolling along after picking up 7 out of 8 on that Western Conference trip. Joining us on the Western Hotline is Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff. Lindy, good morning. Jeremy and Joe, congratulations on the 7 out of 8. I feel like, the 8th point, it got away at the end, but 7 out of 8 feels pretty good most times, I'd imagine.
Yeah, that feels pretty good, especially against teams that were really all battling for you look at Vegas battling for playoff positioning, and then we got to San Jose, and they were the cusp of a playoff position. Really felt we saw their best, and Los Angeles Kings, same thing. So, yeah, we let one slip away. I mean, a heck of a comeback in the third period. Took that late penalty, which hurt us. But to get 7 out of 8 against the West Coast, it's back home to try to win the next game.
Your next few games, this homestand is going to have Bruins, Red Wings, Seattle, the Islanders, more teams that are still fighting for playoff positioning. Is that something that's is that unspoken, Lindy, or will you bring that up to the players? Like, you can notice this time of year, things are dialed up. Maybe you're out of, the middle of the season and teams are really trying to get those points to get into the postseason.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a little bit of both. Obviously it's teams that are battling to get in. There's teams that are battling for positioning. We've talked about that we're going to see every team's best. I think when we played as well as we played, you got a little bit of target. Teams want to try to knock you off, and we know we have to play our best hockey to win hockey games. And that coupled with these playoff races makes for great hockey.
Do you feel like, Lindy, over the road trip that your team played a bunch of different styles and found a way? Like, we were spending some time with, there was a comment made about a player that called your team river hockey, and fans have been taking that as an insult the last week. And I don't know, like, you played a couple of games where you shut it down. You showed against Anaheim you can open it up. Like, do you feel like your team can kind of play any style that it needs to?
Yeah. Well, I've heard the river hockey comment. You can call our hockey whatever you want to call it. We've worked really hard on our game in all 3 zones, and we're going to continue to try to get better. I think, if you look at how we played Vegas, San Jose, the type of opportunities we gave, I thought we played really strong defensive. I thought LA, against a team that plays a defensive style. We played a real solid game there. Special teams and the scoring got a little out of hand. When I walked in the dressing room for the third period, I said we're going to have to put we're going to have to put risk in our game. I told Al, our goaltender, so you're going to have to make a couple saves. We're going to get on the offensive side of the puck. We're going to try to keep pucks alive. If we miss out on that, you're going to face some big opportunities. I said, I'm going to ask you to make some saves this period. We're going to get back in the game. And I thought he made a couple great saves. But I thought our offensive zone play, some of the plays we made were fantastic to get back in the game. And actually, I thought we could have lengthened the lead with a couple plays. So I think most teams, let it all out when they're down by a couple goals. I don't think our style is that much different than a lot of teams.
It's funny. You say a lot of teams might want to do that. Do you feel like this group is as good as maybe most that you've had over the years at doing that? Any coach might want to. You guys are second in the league in goals scored. Like this is a group that, when you decide to turn that dial into, it feels like they're ready for it.
Yeah, I think you can look at two things. We've been able to score a goal. Our depth of scoring through the lines has been real good. I really thought on trip, 1 through 4 lines, we got great production and contributions from everybody. And at this time of year, that's what you need. Offensively, we were firing pretty good. I look at defensively where we're at and the goals against where we're at, and I'm comfortable. It's an area that, this time of year, you see a lot better games. You see 3-2, 2-1. I think sometimes when you get into back-to-back or 4 and 6, depending on who you're playing, the games get a little bit looser. But where we've tried to get our game, we're going to continue to try to build. But like I said, both zones, trying to be real good offensively and at the same time trying to be that defensive team that can lock it down when you have a lead.
And on that defensive, especially in the blue line, Lindy, like your top 4 has been a story all year long. Do you feel like you've found something a little bit here with the third pair, especially on this road trip with it being Metsa and Stanley playing together?
Yeah, I do. I think that pair has played well. I think they've got some comfort and they've got some familiarity with each other. They've been able to read off each other. I think Stanley's getting comfortable with how we like to play, and his game has come along. But if you look at the 3 guys that we have sitting out, there's going to be a place and a time where in the regular season we're going to need all these guys. We might need the stronger, more physical. It just depends on who we're going to come up against. But I like what our top right now, what the top 6 did on that road trip. But I still look at our group, and I've lived a tough past with losing defensemen. That you can never have too many of them.
Is that most important for Timmins, especially given that he's been out so long? Like, I don't know, like thinking about the playoffs and ramping up to the intensity of it. Like, would he be someone you would specifically want to get kind of involved in the pace of everything before, the playoffs start?
Yeah, when you look at it, I think each guy that we have here can add something from, you look at it, Timmins and Shen and their penalty killing and the physicality that, a Shen can bring to the lineup. We have Kesselring that, has struggled with injuries throughout the year and has never really quite found his game. But I thought his last few games were in a pretty good place. And now you've got another big man that can skate, that can move the puck. Early in the year, I thought Timmins was a big reason our penalty killing was where it's at. So you look at Shen and Timmins are both great shot blockers, are good penalty killers. And penalty killing, sometimes having that right-handed shot when you're digging pucks out of the corner to get those 200-foot clears is a big deal.
Lindy, I want to get back to Zach Metsa. Are you guys, I'd imagine you are aware of like the crazy numbers of goals for and against when he's on the ice. He's been on the ice for 3 even strength goals in 37 games. Like whether it's shooting percentage or save percentage, like Metsa has kind of been this thing where wherever he's on the ice, good things are happening, even if it might be to some degree unsustainable, the sheer volume of goals for and not against. But, his game, maybe it's not sustainable. It can't be a coincidence, I don't think.
I don't think it is a coincidence. Watching his game, his breakout plays are right on cue a lot of times. He understands, where the puck's got to go. I think sometimes it's a safer place. Sometimes it's a real option to get the puck into the middle and make a nice play up the middle. But I'm well aware of all the stats. We've, as coaches, have even talked about it. We have discussions on our group, and can we change a piece with all the D-man we have? But some of his stats are just incredible. Sustainable. I'd love to say so.
Yeah, right. Like a 91% goal share is kind of nuts. His story is interesting too, because this is his first year playing at this level. 27 years old. It took him a good amount of time to get here, but he certainly looks comfortable.
Yeah, what a great story of a guy that's we looked at that could be a depth guy for us, and with some injuries, came up, played some games, and played well, and earned his opportunity. I think. When we send players down, we talk to the players about, whoever's playing well. It doesn't matter if you're a draft pick or if you're a guy we brought in. If you play well, you will be the guy that gets the opportunity. And I think he's a perfect example of the guy that took advantage of playing well down there, got his chance up here, and has come up and played very well. So I think when preparation, meets that opportunity, a lot of times a player can have great success.
Lindy Ruff with us on the Western Hotline. Lindy, Sam Carrick fitting in nicely. I mean, the goals are coming. I'm not sure that is expected when he signed, but the fourth line in general, like you mentioned earlier, that the scoring depth has been 4 lines deep, and I mean, for that you need your fourth line to produce, and it has been.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the LA game, the goal he scored. Again, I guess. Another really good story of a guy that was more of an offensive guy, coming out of his junior career, and now has found, a way to stay in the league. He's a guy that physically will take anybody on. He's been a guy that's willing to get the puck to the inside, make some great plays. The Benson play, and then him taking it to the net in LA, and then again Benson scoring the go-ahead goal in Anaheim. It's like I said, the depth, his job in the face-off circle, we were looking for that right-handed guy to win some face-offs, and he's our highest percentage face-off guy right now, so it's really been a good fit for us.
On Benson, do you feel like he's the guy that can fit in on any line? Like, he's playing on the fourth line, he's played on the top line, and also, Lindy, like, he takes a lot of hits. I wonder if you see like a toughness in that. Like, there's giving hits, but man, he takes shots, and a lot of times it is to make a play. And even like when the McNabb hit happened last week, like, he very rarely is someone that isn't going to bounce right back up from it.
Yeah, for sure. I think the couple hits he took, the Vegas hit, the hit in LA. I mean, that's unbelievable winning hockey on his part. The willingness to do what he did to really bring the LA game, bring those guys to him, and that guy putting himself in position to take himself out of the play. It's like he baited him, he took the hit, and made an unbelievable play to Carrick. But you're right. There's in times in the game, even in the Anaheim game, I bounced a few players around, and I think that's the flexibility. I can play him. There's times where, I feel I can just put him up there with Tage and Tuck, and it's a good fit. But to move the pieces around is probably a luxury that I have, that they're a little bit interchangeable and a lot of times get good results from.
I remember early on when we talked to you last year, Lindy, like some of your first impressions of Benson, I can remember you saying, like, I love this kid. And is he wherever you put him, instant energy, infectious energy?
He is. He does have infectious energy. I think from the top of the circles down, he's a hard guy to track down. I mean, the bigger guys can't get leverage on him. He can, basically stop on a dime. He's pretty evasive. And for his size, he's probably, in the top 2 or 3 amongst the forward crew of getting around the front of the net and being real annoying at getting in the right position to frustrate other teams' goaltenders, other teams' defense. And a lot of times you see his goals are coming from anywhere around the paint.
Lindy Ruff with us. Lindy, the playoffs are not clinched yet. I mean, maybe it could happen in this homestand. We'll see how far away that is. Has the league changed at all from your vantage point on like resting players down the stretch once things are kind of buttoned up? Like there's always who you could play in division races, but once like playoffs are kind of official, I don't know, has that changed at all for you, or have you seen that in the league, like teams being a little bit more willing to, okay, this guy's banged up, let me give him a couple of games off at the end of the year?
I think if there's a real reason to rest a player, somebody that's playing that's, been having a nagging injury or something that has been holding them back, I think that's a real opportunity to get a player healthy for the playoffs. I don't think the resting part in whole, if you're just saying, okay, we're going to rest this guy, we're going to rest that guy, I don't really see that in our league. I think maybe the teams that have run away with a spot have that luxury. But I think you look at the Eastern Conference right now, I don't know a team that's going to have that luxury going down the stretch.
Yeah, it's one thing. Like you guys seemingly win every night, and I check the standings, and everybody else is winning every night too.
Yeah.
Is there a next benchmark for you, Lindy? Like, we could chart whether it's clinching a spot, whether it's clinching home ice in round one, whether it's, the division. There's 11 games left here, and the division is, you guys are in the driver's seat.
You know what my next benchmark is to win our next game. And we've pretty well taken that approach the whole year. We've got the saying, just one more, just go win one more. And after that game, we just move on, and we move on to the next game. And we'll end up where we end up, but I think the approach is let's take a really hard look at the next team we're playing, get ready for them, and be prepared to win that game. And ready to move on to the next one after that.
Are you a fan, by the way, of the slogan that Tage coined last week? Everybody ropes, everybody rides, or is it the whole locker room on that?
Everybody was in on it. It's something that we've had in there all year long. It's something that in our meetings before the season, the day we spent up in Peak and Peak on a culture building really retreat that we came up with. There's three or four kind of slogans that we use, and that is one of them. That is just no job too big, too small. You might have to be a defensive specialist in the last 10 minutes of the game. You might have to be a guy that has to get involved physically for a teammate, for yourself, whatever. So it's I think it's a great slogan about we're all in this together, and it doesn't matter what it takes, from blocking shots to scoring goals.
Well, it's all been fun, and the river hockey stuff has been fun too. When we caught wind of that, it was whatever. Everything's been tons of fun, Lindy. Hope you guys are having as much as well. So
yeah, well, I'm just hoping that's a fast-flowing river they're talking about.
That's right. That's right. Thanks, Lindy. Best of luck tomorrow against Boston.
Okay, thank you.
Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff joining us here on the Western Hotline. There are 11 games left, and the playoffs begin in less than a month, and it's the kind of thing that we used to do if the playoffs started today.
Yeah.
We used to do that. Should we do that?
I'm in.
Let's do it. If the playoffs started today.
I love where it is right now.
Yeah?
I love where it is right now.
With the full intro here for...
Oh, yes, the
full...
The 20 seconds before it really gets rolling on Hurricane 2000.
Boston. It would be Boston.
Boston.
If this playoff started today, it would be tomorrow night's opponent.
I love it.
The Boston Bruins.
Might be my new favorite idea. It's starting to grow on me above Detroit. Their 5-on-5 numbers are putrid.
Boston.
28th in the league in expected goal share. They do have a goalie And that could scare you a little bit compared to like in Ottawa. That's a big difference.
Don't want to get goalied.
But like
in a series, never mind a game, but a series.
I have got no time for any fear of the Bruins because they're bullies and they're the playoffs and experience. Boston, like that's not them. Chara ain't there anymore. Lucic ain't there anymore. Marchand, who is the guy? Zadorov, right? He's a giant goon on the blue line.
Revenge game.
I got to be afraid of him. Who on the Bruins am I afraid of? Like, Pastrnak is great.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong.
Be worried about him.
But they don't got this team of physical bullies that are great players anymore at all.
They did just sign James Hagens, and they're expecting him to be a part of their team soon. What?
A teenager.
Do I have to care about that guy?
Not now, I think.
Right.
But, like, okay, like looking through their lineup, Fraser Minton. That's their number one center. Pavel Zacha, Victor Arvidsson, Middlestat, Elias Lindholm. Like, they're not any more physical than the Sabres are. It's just the logo that makes you think that.
Yeah.
Who on their team has playoff experience? Pastrnak and McAvoy. Is that it?
Yeah.
Like, they don't have playoff experience.
So Boston first round if the playoffs start today.
Oh, I'm in.
Carolina and the Islanders would play.
Okay.
Tampa, Montreal. And
Tampa, Montreal would be another great part of this. Give me one of those two knocking each other out. Because really, what you love to have is Tampa get upset in round one. Mm-hmm. And if you make it through, like that is a tougher test. So if they're gone, that's good. And I think Montreal is the most capable of taking them out.
And Pittsburgh and Columbus would be the other Eastern Conference series.
All right.
Of course, we love to do this exercise.
Pittsburgh fans were very mad at me yesterday online.
If it was 1 through 16 like it used to be, it would be Sabres and Ottawa.
1 through 8 or 1 through 16?
It was not Ottawa. Detroit. If it was 1 through 16, which it was at one point, it'd be Sabres and Red Wings. If it was a regular 1 through 8, it would be Sabres and Columbus.
All right.
Columbus has been red hot. But anyway,
the Bruins.
This is where we have to point out that if the playoffs started today also, the second best team in the NHL would play the fifth best team in the NHL in the first round.
It's so stupid.
Right.
And then the winner of that would play the best team in the league in the second round.
Yes. Yeah, the top 5, 3 of the top 5 teams.
That's Batman wants it that way. He said it.
Everyone, well, you know what, actually, to make this point, in this scenario, it's Dallas and Minnesota. And I was about to say, like, oh, yeah, what a rivalry game there. Dallas and Minnesota. Oh, all right. They actually kind of stole their team. So
yeah, that's not a bad one.
That's all right.
I mean, we're going to need rivals.
Right.
The Lightning will be one. And I'm good with the Bruins being another one. Because I'm not afraid of the Bruins at all.
Everybody ropes, everybody rides.
Which is a good slogan for someone that's watching Yellowstone right now.
True.
So I get it.
I also have thought Lindy was going to the Paw Patrol slogan there when he said, no job is too big, no job is too small. I thought no job is too big, no pup is too small. I thought he was going Paw Patrol. That's the line.
I think a lot of people were jumping on the puppy power when Benson scored the other night.
Scrappy Doo?
Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy Doo is an incredible nickname for him. He is.
It's great.
Watching him is nuts. It is wild to see what
he's one of the toughest players on the team.
To see what he's willing to do. Yeah.
He takes licks every night, and he always bounces right back up. And, will knowingly take that. He did it against Tampa. I mean, Lindy mentioned the goal against L.A. There was another goal on this road trip where he takes a giant hit, make the play, and it ends up as a goal. The Tampa game, remember the Carrick goal? The Carrick goal where he's coming through the offensive zone. Why that happens? Because Benson sits on the wall, waits for Carrick to come through, and gives it to him while getting destroyed by a defenseman who's probably 6'5".
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
803-0550. On the Sabres, if you want, talk some draft here. Ty Simpson. We should be paying attention to the Ty Simpson ad campaign.
I think he's going to be the most talked about player in the draft.
Only because Mendoza's not that interesting and going to go at the top. So
yeah, we already know it.
You got a month to the draft. It's a month from today, April 24th. And, you got to find a quarterback to argue about. That's Ty Simpson, who Dan Orlovsky just said is QB1 in the draft.
Oh, get out of here. Did he?
Yep. Best quarterback in the draft, Ty Simpson.
Come on. That's a real take?
Yeah.
Should I be reacting like this? Is that ridiculous? If it comes off as you're just saying something to make waves.
803-0550 and 1-888-550-2550 to join us. Jeremy and Joe on WGR.
I mean, we'll get party in the Plaza details at some point, I'm assuming, too. That might not be till they clinch.
I've never gone to one of those.
You've never been?
No, I was either at the game, going into the game, or I was at a local establishment that was not the
Jeremy
Plaza.
White here for
So
Riverfront
I never
Auto Sales,
watched a
1379
party in the Plaza.
Does it appeal to you?
I think so. They've got a big television, right?
Big screen.
And they sell beer?
So the only thing,
Well,
obviously,
okay.
I have not been to one since I was in high school. Maybe I was in college. There was no French Connection statue at the time. So you lose fair enough. Like, it's a great statue. There is a little less room than there used to be. You also would want to stand directly behind it because the screen was usually put up kind of where the entry gate is or on that side. I guess they could put the screen somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know how they'll want to do it. Could they put it up where the mural is? That feels like, in terms of where it is, the easiest for everybody to get a look at it.
Right.
I don't know. What I remember it being, though, is just one big TV kind of in the corner by where the entry gate was. And I don't remember whether they were selling beer or not because I don't think I would have been able to get it.
Did they block off that street?
Yes, I think they did.
It feels like you should block off
I think they did.
that street multiple. Again, it's one of these things that's.
Oh, did they? No, I'm pretty sure they did.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure though. Maybe someone else that would remember it more clearly.
I got to check pictures. Yeah, I was never at one of those. I was always, for the playoffs in 05, 06, 06, 07, I think I went to most of the games. Not all, but most. And I would always be in the arena. Like, they check in on the Jumbotron. Let's check in on the Plaza. And everybody's out there having a great time.
No Sabres game tonight. They're back in action tomorrow at home following their Western road trip. They'll host the Bruins at 7:30, which will start a 4-game homestand for them. Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff just joined Jeremy and Joe. You can find that on demand at WGR550.com. The madness is on hold for a few days in the NCAA tournament. The Sweet 16 round gets underway Thursday night, starting right around 7:10. And we're 1 month out from the NFL draft and less than 1 week out from the owners' meetings. And looking around the NFL, the Seahawks signed wide receiver Jake Bobo to a 2-year, $5.5 million deal. The Chiefs re-signed Travis Kelce to a 3-year, $54.735 million deal. And ESPN's Adam Schefter believes Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson will be a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Baseball is back. Opening night is live on Netflix. Tomorrow, March 25th, Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees clash with Rafael Devers and the San Francisco Giants. MLB opening night, Yankees-Giants, live on Netflix tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. The Paddock Chevrolet Sports Headlines. Paddock Chevrolet, with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Kelly on Western New York's Voice of the Fans, WGR.
These things, they change and they evolve. The one thing I can say confidently right now, talking to front offices, is I believe, and it's not going out on a limb, Ty Simpson will be a first-round draft pick. A first-round draft pick. That's all I'm comfortable saying right now. We will revisit this topic many times as the draft marches closer. We're 1 month out exactly. The draft is 1 month from today. And again, I think that'll probably be one of the central focal storylines of the first round of the draft. Where does Ty Simpson go?
Adam Schefter. The reason for Bills fans to pay attention to that is the Bills are going to be often mocked as a team that bows out of the first round for a team trading in to get Ty Simpson. Mm-hmm. And one of the questions would be, will there be a quarterback tax where, you want to come up and get your guy here, it's going to be a little more. You need a little more than what you might be offering. So,
right, how about this? Give me the package this isn't even a quarterback tax, I guess. Just give me the same package it cost Atlanta last year to go get James Pierce from the Rams.
They came up from where?
Like middle of the second round, and it cost them their future first-round pick. Like, do that. Miami. Do you not want to do that because it's in the division, though? Should I care? Let's make it Miami. They're 43rd. I mean, 10th, 11th pick of the second round. All right, you want to come get Ty Simpson? It's going to cost your first next year. They wouldn't do that because they're tanking.
Perhaps the most insane move of all time.
Never mind. They are the wrong team. Who's the right team then? How about the
Arizona is pegged for this a lot.
Yep.
Arizona would come up from 34. Who else is in the mix? Cleveland, there you go. They picked 39th. All right, you want them? It's going to cost your first next year. You're not going to get that. Whatever.
Do you think the team's got to think they're going to be good because that's what Atlanta did? Atlanta thought they were going to be good.
Yes, that's right. For an edge rusher, they thought they'd be good. If you're
Pittsburgh,
if you just want to use the value chart, let's say the Bills are dropping out of 26 down to what? Cleveland? That's 200. That'll be like a third-round pick in the neighborhood of a third.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
That's the Coleman trade to a degree.
Kind of. It's kind of the
They
Coleman
didn't add
trade.
a third. They moved up from the fourth to the third. 803-0550. We opened the show talking Sabres. We've also asked, I'll update the Twitter poll because yesterday seemed to be a Casey Concepcion day on the station. Does the Bills' addition of DJ Moore take wide receiver out of the mix for you in the first round? Not asking what you think they will do, but would you go in another direction because they've got a lot of needs on their defense. They've got starting jobs available on the defense. And maybe it's left guard you like. Maybe that's really it. Wide receiver, left guard, and then the defense. So 803-0550 if you want to join us in. 1-888-550-2550. Mike in Virginia is up. Hey, Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Jeremy, I've been thinking about your windows down for a Bills Super Bowl offer, and I wondered one for you. Not to disparage anybody that has one, but would you consider a small face tattoo for a guaranteed Bills Super Bowl, and if so, how many? It would show up on your passport photo just to give you an idea of where it would be located. Thank you, guys.
A face tattoo that shows up on your passport.
He said small.
For a Super Bowl, and said how many? Just where
like how many Super Bowls?
Can I go to the technicality where I get like my eyebrows tattooed on?
I think you're defeating the spirit of the question.
Come on. Just get,
I think you're defeating it.
All right. No, I wouldn't do it.
No, I don't think I would do it either. I'd have to think about it, though.
Yeah, my question a couple weeks ago was you have to drive.
I'd rather do the windows thing.
You have to drive with the windows down for the rest of your life.
Under
all circumstances when you are driving.
I'd rather do that.
Hey, the sun's out today.
Yeah, today would be a better day for it.
Better day.
Better.
It is 25 degrees. Better.
I just wear layers, I guess. Although the 25, that's not what the feels like in the car would be when the windows are down because you're going to have all the breeze coming in. The feels like in the car is probably going to be lower, I'd imagine.
Yeah. 803-0550 and 1-888-550-2550. The other conversation draft that's like, I don't know, there's so many things about the draft that seem like settled and understood, and you get teams that will defy it anyway. Like, of course, Jeremiah Love should not be a top 5 pick.
No, jeez.
Of course he should not be a top 10 pick.
Isn't he? He's
going to be.
Like,
and listen, if you want
I've seen the Titans at 4, like as a tie to him.
Of course that's nuts, and they should never do that. I guess it depends on if you're a GM that wants to look at it from roster building and cap management or not. Let's just do it. Let's just do the math real quick. If Jeremiah Love becomes the JSN of running backs, how much guaranteed money does he get? Half? One running back, Christian McCaffrey makes $20 million. Barkley got that big raise.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not even just how much you be paying your running back today. It's, let's say it goes as well as it can go.
Yeah.
I'm losing money. I'd rather have the receiver or a defensive end or a corner or a tackle or a quarterback. All those positions, if I'm going to nail it, are better to nail with a top 10 pick than running back. I mean, it's just when the Chiefs signed Kenneth Walker, from a Bills standpoint, I thought, like, oh, that's disappointing. I hope they fell into the Jeremiah Love trap. Would have loved that for the Chiefs. Yeah. Instead, they sign a guy for big money, but now they'll get, that top 10 pick, and they have another pick from the Trent McDuffie trade. So, like, the Chiefs are here doing really cagey cap management where you're saving money by trying to get premium positions. And anybody out there that takes Jeremiah Love 4th, that's absurd.
Right.
Absolutely nuts if the Titans do that.
I mean, I don't know who else would do it. Would the Giants go down this road again at number 5? They're probably smarter than that now, I think.
There is a spot, by the way, where he
could be one of these teams.
I've seen where if he starts to fall, where does he really get to?
Yeah.
And then somebody trades up for him. I mean, the Lions made it look okay by drafting Gibbs high.
Dallas.
Yeah.
That's a Jerry Jones type of thing, isn't it?
Probably.
He did it with Elliott, 4th overall. Like, how would he think that went? Because I would look at that and say, well, you paid a lot for a running back who was great, and then you signed him to his second contract and you regretted it. I think. You made him the highest paid running back in football, and did he ever have a great season again? He was okay. Just it's never that would be my question about a lot of these guys that go really, really high. Like, how many of them are you really happy to give them that second contract? It's very rare that you would get to that place and not regret it. I think that McCaffrey maybe is a little bit of that, but the other guys that went really high in the first round, I mean, you got to go back a few years. Like Barkley with the Giants, they just decided not to pay him.
Yep.
Fournette with the Jaguars, I don't think they paid him, right?
No. He went elsewhere and had success.
Right.
But never as like a big money guy.
The Elliott contract, like Elliott was great, and then he got paid, and then he really fell off. Gurley with the Rams, like that was over fast. He retired at like 27. It's like McCaffrey, and that's kind of it. When you draft a guy top 10 and then go the distance with him.
Yeah.
It just never happens.
I can't believe a team would even consider it, but it's probably going to happen. What else? What are the other accepted truths of the NFL draft? The trading down is better. That's one I push back on. I don't think it's always better. I understand the concept and why people like it. It's because it is not risky. It's more kicks at the can. You're always celebrated when you trade down. The day you trade down, it is celebrated by the entire industry of drafting. If the player you miss by trading down 5 spots is a Hall of Famer, only your fan base remembers. Like, trading down gets universally praised. Oh, you got to love it. Oh, you got to love what they did there. Meanwhile, like, if the Chiefs trade down from 9 to 15, they'll be just absolutely praised. And if the guy that gets drafted in that spot is a Hall of Fame edge rusher, like, that doesn't stick with them for 20 years.
Aren't the Bills more able this year to move up high into the first round because of the state of the quarterback market? Like, hear me out for a second on this. Like, if the Bills wanted to go up for whatever, they want to go up to 10, 11, 12, 13, like in that range because somebody fell that they are in love with and thought was a top 5.
Sonny Styles.
There you go.
Somehow they're at 8.
Sonny Styles is available. Aren't all the teams that are high in the draft that need a quarterback thinking the way the Bills would have in 2017?
Next year.
This quarterback class stinks. We need one. Next year is loaded. There are maybe going to be 7 guys that are on the radar for the first round. Not just Arch Manning. Like, there's a bunch of other really good ones. I'm going to I want to, if I'm the Dolphins, this is how I'm thinking right now. If I'm the Jets, this is how I'm thinking. If I am the, who else needs a quarterback? If I'm the Browns, this is how I'm thinking. I don't want to take a swing this year. I want to be bad this year. And I want to load all of my assets into next year. So, all right, Buffalo or any team down there, Philly, San Francisco, any of you guys want to do business? I'm looking for picks next year. I want a first-round pick next year.
Well, here are the teams.
I'll go down anywhere you want this year's first round because my goal right now is I need a quarterback in 2027, and the best way to do that is to have as many first-round picks next year. So I'll play ball. Maybe last year I wasn't willing to, the year before, but because of the state of this year's quarterback class and next year's, I want to move down to get a first next year, and that allows teams like the Bills to go up.
So let's start that at the 6th pick. Teams that I think would fit this model of thinking, I want to draft a quarterback next year. Number 6 is Cleveland. Yes.
They should think that.
Washington?
No.
No, probably not. New Orleans?
They should be open to it, but I don't think they probably are.
They probably arrive there. Kansas City, no. Cincinnati, no. Miami, yes.
Yes, 100%.
Dallas, no. The Rams, no. The Ravens, no. The Bucks,
no.
No.
Jets, yes.
Jets, yes. Lions, no. Vikings.
Is the problem that the 2 teams that fit the description best for where the Bills could go up are in the division?
Yeah.
Do you want to help them? Do you want to? I mean, I would be okay with it. That's just not, though, typically, it's just a roadblock that teams often will get in the way. Minnesota at 18. Is that far enough up to trade a first-round pick next year? Is 8 spots worth, I'll give you my first next year? I think a lot would say no. I bet even the value chart might say no on that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It probably would, but you could slide up.
And Cleveland at 6 almost feels like it's too high. It's too far.
Let's look at Minnesota. Like, I'll give you my first next year, but I'm moving from 26 to 18, and I'm moving from 91 to 82, and I'm moving from 182 to 163. Like 3 slide ups for that first, not just a 1 straight up.
Well, let me ask about Miami for a moment.
Because pick slides are happening way more than just straight up trades now.
Oh, yeah.
Have you noticed that? Like, all these trades, everything are pick slides.
Yes. But let me play it out with Miami for a second. Who shouldn't want to help the other more? Is that a dead idea because I don't want to help them get a quarterback?
Right.
Is that, like, would Bills fans look at that idea and think, all right, I can trade a future first and I can go up to 11 to where Miami is from 26? Is the reaction, no, because I don't want to help them get some franchise quarterback in a year. I don't want to give them the tools to do that. More than Miami would be thinking, I don't want to help the Bills.
Well,
the same way that they maybe didn't want to trade the Bills Waddle.
I guess it comes down to, do you really care if the team in your division wins the Super Bowl if it helps you? Like, how different is it for the Miami Dolphins if the 2027 Super Bowl champ is Buffalo versus Baltimore? Do they care about that? Do the division rivalries care?
As to say, like, it's still a success for them if, all right, you make that trade with the Bills win the Super Bowl, and you get the quarterback you wanted.
Yeah.
That's a success for you.
Right. I think about it for like in this conversation, you're also probably asking, these teams would be on different timelines. Like if I make that trade on the Bills, it's about 26, 27, 28. And if I make that trade in the Dolphins, it's drafting it in 27. That quarterback's likely not to make a big difference until 2029?
Yeah.
By then this trade for the Bills is well established. Yeah, it's a fair point.
I kind of like that idea.
I would not trade.
Go call Miami and see, all right, you want picks in 27? Here you go. I'm going to go to 11.
I'd be open to it. I would not trade with New England this year. How about that? It's like, let's not let the Patriots.
Well, that would be trading down, especially.
Oh, I know.
So, yeah.
Don't trade down with them. They're
not going to have their first round pick
because they're going to trade it for A.J. Brown.
Yeah. I'm not. Isn't he? He's working out with New England guys.
He is. Kevin Byard.
He's going to New England.
803-0550 to join us, and 1-888-550-2550. Maybe if the Bills think that the Eagles are going to take a receiver with that pick, they'll stick it to Howie Roseman, and they'll take the receiver instead. We never got to the Darius Slay thing. Let's get to the Darius Slay thing. Darius Slay on a podcast telling his side of the story with the Bills and what happened. We'll do that at 9 o'clock. Save that for you. 803-0550. You can pop in with us on anything. Jeremy and Joe here on WGR. How much are people thinking about the future of the position and the next wave? Because they did draft Coleman for this, and 2 years in, it's very much undetermined where it goes from here, right? But
it's not going well.
It's not going well. And Sal brought up a point on the afternoon show yesterday, which I thought was really interesting about Coleman. And, Joe Brady says the best thing that happens to him is I'm his head coach. We're going to do what it takes to make this work. All right, that's all great. Sal brought up the point, what happens if he lets them down again? He's late again. And you're in October, or he does something and you have to suspend him and bench him again. All of a sudden, you look like, whatever, you got egg on your face. You look bad. Like, oh, look at this. The guy you vouched for is still a problem. And if it happened again, any idea of moving him for value would probably crater even further. So,
if there's no getting something for him next year if it goes the same way it just did. He's cut at that point, right? He's Treylon Burks. He's just available as a street free agent, and somebody brings him in to be their sixth receiver. It's over for him if that's the way that it goes again, which is why I don't know that I should count on him being here next year. He's not. He might be here this year. He is not entering my thought process at all anymore for who's the future of the position.
Yeah.
The odds of him overcoming the maturity issues off the field to then get substantially better as a player on the field, because that has been a key component of him not succeeding in the first 2 years either. There's just way too much to overcome for him to be what? They're Gabe Davis of the future. I don't know what the end goal would be for Coleman at this point.
Stat of the day. This came from Mike Clay. Got audio of him talking about this. I sent this to Joe Kelly. That, we know the Sabres have been good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mike Clay of ESPN?
Sorry, Mike Kelly.
Mike Kelly.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Mike Kelly.
They both live in the advanced stat world, just in...
That's right.
Yeah, different aspects.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, okay. The Sabres have had a lead in the last 27 games.
They've had a lead?
Yeah.
In 27 games
27 consecutive games they've had a lead.
Wow.
They've won a lot, so you're like, well,
yeah,
but
right.
Even the games that they've lost, they have had a lead in 27 consecutive games.
Right, because a couple come to mind. Anaheim, they're leading in the final 2 minutes.
Washington,
the game they lost in Tampa, they were leading with 30 seconds left.
Yeah. The one home win against Washington, they scored first.
Right. Yeah.
27 consecutive games.
So what's the last? Do we know the last game that they didn't lead in?
I think, is it Carolina?
The Brandon Bussey game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be right. Which is coincidentally their last regulation road loss.
It was 1-1 at the end of the first, and they lost.
Darlene scored first.
Okay, so it's before that game. Sorry, my mistake. Before the Carolina game, I was trying to count backward there.
Is it since the new year?
Is it the January 12th Panthers game? Or is it the Blue Jackets game they lost 5-1?
I think they never led in the Florida game.
Okay, there you go. 27 consecutive games with the lead. Contest time. Be caller 5 to 2214-WGR to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Bison's opening day, Friday, at Salem Field. To take on the Scranton Wilkes. Where are we these days?
Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders.
Wilkes-Barre?
The Rail Riders.
Not the Wilkes Bar. Wilkes-Barre, making sure. Sorry. The Rail Riders. First pitch, 105, courtesy of the Bisons. The tickets are courtesy of the Bisons. Caller 5 to 2214-WGR. Big day for us today. We're going to the stadium. We got a tour.
Can't wait.
We will report back tomorrow. New Highmark Stadium. Going to get inside, kick back, order a hot dog. No,
I don't.
No, all right.
I don't think that'll be available.
When the food's ready, I'm ready to try it. Jeremy and Joe here on WGR. How much are people thinking about the future of the position and the next wave? Because they did draft Coleman for this, and 2 years in, it's very much undetermined where it goes from here, right? But
it's not going well.
It's not going well. And Sal brought up a point on the afternoon show yesterday, which I thought was really interesting about Coleman. And, you know, Joe Brady says the best thing that happens to him is I'm his head coach. We're going to do what it takes to make this work. All right, that's all great. Sal brought up the point, what happens if he lets them down again? He's late again. And you're in October, or he does something and you have to suspend him and bench him again. All of a sudden, you look like, you know, whatever. You got egg on your face. You look bad. Like, oh, look at this. The guy you vouched for is still a problem. And if it happened again, any idea of like moving him for value would probably crater even further. So,
if there's no getting something for him next year if it goes the same way it just did. He's cut at that point, right? He's Treylon Burks. He's just available as a street free agent, and somebody brings him in to be their sixth receiver. Like, it's over for him if that's the way that it goes again, which is why I don't know that I should count on him being here next year. Like, he might be here this year. He is not entering my thought process at all anymore for, like, who's the future of the position.
Yeah.
Like, the odds of him overcoming the maturity issues off the field to then get substantially better as a player on the field, because that has been a key component of him not succeeding in the first 2 years either. There's just way too much to overcome for him to be what? They're their Gabe Davis of the future. Like, I don't know what the end goal would be for Coleman at this point.
I said earlier this week, I'm really waiting to see what receivers come in for top 30 visits. And I kind of fully expected to see your third, fourth, fifth round guys. There was a Malik Benson report in there. There's a Chris Bell, Louisville. He has an ACL. He tore his ACL, so he might be like a day 2, late day 3 guy. And then there it is, Concepcion. Mm-hmm. And that is there's no way on earth he's going to make it to you in the third round. If you are talking to him, maybe your contingency plan is like if he falls to 26, or if we get out of the first round and drop into the early second, maybe he makes it there. I don't know. I don't want to go too far on one player making a visit, but yesterday was, whether it's hearing from Matt Harmon, here in the afternoon show, here in Sal, it felt like a lot of talk about Casey Concepcion and the receiver conversation, which, of course, does not go away. And we've wanted them to double down in years past. It feels like the people we talk to and fans are as open to this idea as ever before.
And it's mostly because of the reasons why you would have done this years ago, right? It's that the guy is cheap. That it's the cost control aspect of it. It's the youth of it. It's the upside of it. And it could be even, I don't know, you just watch Jackson Smith and Jigba go nuts in a million games on the Seahawks' way to winning the Super Bowl, and a desire for a player of that caliber with Josh Allen. It could be a lot of things. But it's why the package has always frustrated me, because more is nice to have, but he doesn't really fit the bill, I don't think, as the long-term solution to be your number one receiver. He's a nice player. He's better than anything you have, but
it's better than anything you've had for a while,
yeah,
right?
But does he block out a younger player that could be someone that goes with Josh Allen the rest of his career as a top option and as a separator and a guy that can do it all, like a Concepcion? Because while I invested a second-round pick and this contract in DJ Moore, and am I going to then go ahead and spend my first-round pick on a receiver?
No Sabres game tonight. They're back in action tomorrow. At home, following their Western road trip, they'll host the Bruins at 7:30, which starts a 4-game homestand for them. Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff joined Jeremy and Joe in the last hour. You can find that on demand at our website, WGR550.com. The madness is on hold for a few days in the NCAA tournament. The Sweet 16 round gets underway Thursday night, starting right around 7:10. 1 month out from the NFL draft and less than 1 week out from the owners' meetings. Looking around the NFL, Seahawks, they've signed wide receiver Jake Bobo to a 2-year, $5.5 million deal. ESPN's Adam Schefter believes Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson will be a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL draft. And the Chiefs re-signed tight end Travis Kelce to a 3-year, $54.735 million deal. Baseball is back. Opening night is live on Netflix tomorrow, March 25th. Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees clash with Rafael Devers and the San Francisco Giants. MLB opening night, Yankees-Giants, live on Netflix tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Listen to Chopin Bulldog this week for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Wu-Tang Clan, The Final Chamber at Darien Lake Amphitheater on Thursday, August 27th, courtesy of Live Nation. Tickets go on sale Friday, March 27th at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. And that's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet, with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Callie on Western New York's Voice of the Fans, WGR.
Yeah, I don't know what Buffalo was thinking. I told them way before. Hey, look, I ain't coming to Buffalo. I just ain't. I love you. I appreciate that you believe in me, but I'm not coming. It's too cold. Yes, I believe in Josh Allen. Yes, I think he can do it. Yes, I believe he can get us to the Super Bowl. I got one already. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be somewhere comfortable where I want to be at. What's crazy is I supposed to have been on a flight to LA to watch the Eagles play, the Chargers. And I was going to fly back with the team Monday. They called me Sunday when I was getting ready to book my flight to go down to L.A. to fly back with them boys because I going to be on the sideline and all that to get the, what I'm saying? That's what they wanted me to come for. So I'm like, bet. And I go be on, be with the Eagles then. Man, the boys called me Sunday and was like, nah, we ain't doing that. We'll release you after we play them.
Darius Slay telling the story of how the Bills claimed him, and he wasn't going to come. He says, I told them I wasn't going to come a long time before. So, whatever. Last year, they claim Slay. They lose Jamarcus Ingram. Slay doesn't show up. They get Darnell Savage. Darnell Savage gets beat for a touchdown in the playoff game.
Right.
Slay says, I told them I wasn't going to come. The kind of thing that you're not supposed to say you said to them. But now that he's retired, he maybe doesn't care. Or if you're a GM,
right,
you can't say, we talked to the agent, you put a claim in, you're not allowed to. Here's Slay saying, I told them I wasn't going to come.
Right.
And the Bills did it anyway.
Which all makes it all the more odd that they even bothered with it. And lost Jamarcus Ingram. Which is kind of, to me, was always kind of like a whatever, but maybe it would have mattered.
Well,
he would have been pressed into duty in
Denver.
That playoff game.
Is he in that assignment? I don't know.
Well, he might have been because, reminder, that game there was a Darnell Savage play,
and there was
a
Dane Jackson
play, and I guess I'd be guessing was Ingram would have been the guy in there instead of Jackson.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, McDermott was upset.
He was very upset about that.
He probably would have liked Ingram available on that play.
And a big part of the story was, like, could the Bills have known? And here's Slay, a little postscript saying, like, oh, yeah, they knew.
Yeah.
They knew I wasn't going to come. That's what he says. Anyway, good morning. 803-0550. Mike Giannitti of Spot Track just tweeting out some stuff on the DJ Moore contract. So for those of you that your head spins on cap stuff, we'll try to make this as simple as we can. So there are guarantees and then there are guarantees, right? Injury guarantees versus full guarantees, and the stuff can get, tedious. But Mike Giannitti of Spot Trek points out that DJ Moore's contract with the Bills includes an injury guarantee in 2028. It vests to a full guarantee Valentine's Day, that's right before waivers, of 2028. So what he's saying is DJ Moore is a 2-year, $49 million contract. Okay. And then Valentine's Day, the Bills have a decision, 2 years, 49 additional, we'll see. The only problem with that is, so they can get out in 2 years. And that's true. The Bills, if DJ Moore does well, but it's not working, or whatever, it's just decision time to save money. In 2 years, they could cut him loose and save $15 million on the cap.
Yeah.
All right, that seems like that's fine.
That seems fine.
I've left myself an out. The problem is that out's probably not really going to be there because the Bills will probably restructure more again next year.
Right.
His cap hit is 28.
Yes.
And I can't imagine they'll stick with that 28.
The only, what would have to happen for them to stick with the 28? It would be
the cap goes up a lot.
The cap goes up a lot, and it goes really poorly. It goes really poorly. And
they stick with him for 28.
We have to just deal with it because we are not committing to him further. I think it would have to go bad for them to stick with this is how much he's going to cost, $28.9 million in 2027. Why are we going to be willing to do that? Because, one, it would be more expensive for him to not be on the team at that point, I believe. And two, we can't kick money down the road because we can't have this guy on our team longer than 2 years. So, and I don't expect that to happen. I don't expect it to be so poor that they would do that or feel like they have to do that. We have to eat the $28 million because we can't kick money down the road on him. It will probably go well enough that they will restructure and do the salary conversion stuff and make it basically a 3-year deal. I think there's a very slim chance that he's 2 years and he's out. Yeah. I think it's a 3-year deal. Again, other than you get a disaster and it just doesn't go well. Which what would that have to be? Like he has the Josh Palmer season?
Right. And
if he has Josh Palmer season, I bet you they'd say, all right, we just got to deal with a $28 million cap hit.
I just don't think they will. I think they'll restructure no matter what. They're always restructuring.
If he has that year, you think they'd restructure?
Yeah, because
we'll say we'll continue to commit to you past this year.
Yeah, the Josh Palmer situation was injury, was it not? Won't they say that? If Moore has what Palmer, which I don't have, one thing he's been is available.
That's true.
Knock on wood, one thing he's had. But anyway, like to this point about the very tedious nature of it. So if the Bills did want to release DJ Moore in February of 2028, it would be ugly but doable. And the waiver guarantee takes effect right before waivers, so they can't make him a post-June 1 release.
They are committing to him, I think,
for 3
as
years.
though they think this is a 3-year deal.
At least. Yeah, I think so too.
This is a 3-year deal, and we'll see about 4.
Right. So all the fake contracts, all this and that, sometimes something looks better than it probably is. Sometimes it looks worse than it is. In this case, 2 years, $49 million, you can get out from there. Oh, that sounds good. But I don't really think they can get out from there. I think that they would restructure, extend, and, as much as you could ask, what if it goes poorly? What if it goes great? If it goes great,
if it goes
then
great,
restructure that. Then restructure that puppy, and you're good to go.
Yeah, because this will be his age. If it's 3 years, it'll be 29, 30, and 31. Those will be his ages. That's not unheard of at all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more wondering about the decline because of what last year looked like in Chicago. Age-wise, like some guys do decline here. Amari Cooper was kind of in this
he just disappeared
age range. Like some guys do it. But there are a lot of examples of players that at 31, they're not done.
Yeah.
They're not done at all. Or even, this is how we talked about Diggs. Diggs was a high-level player, but Moore has been more of the perimeter receiver, wins down the field, wins at all levels, and he could be like Diggs where, all right, well, when he's no longer peak DJ Moore, there will be a transition with him from, all right, well, you're not going to be a guy that's that dangerous on the outside and beating coverage and winning down the field for me, but I can move you into the slot more. And you can extend your career doing that. Here, that's kind of blocked out because of Shakir's presence, but I don't think he has to be done in the next phase of his career. He just might be a different type of player than he's been in the past.
803-0550, our phone number, 1-888-550-2550. If you'd like to join us, you can. Talking a little about Casey Concepcion today. Also talking about the idea of trading out of the first round for a team that wants a quarterback.
Right.
I like the idea if you're Arizona of going up and getting Ty Simpson.
If I were them, I wouldn't be. I don't know why any team would think that's the better idea than punting it to next year.
The best... Let's go best.
Would Ty Simpson be the 9th best quarterback in 2027?
He might be. The best case scenario, if you're looking mid to late first round quarterbacks, let's talk about the success stories. Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
Right? Quarterbacks taken 15th and later that have been good in the first round. And I know like your Tom Brady's.
What was Mahomes?
10th.
10th. Okay, so he was earlier in that.
Your Brady's, Drew Brees is a second round pick.
Jackson Dart looks pretty good.
Jackson Dart is...
it's only 1 year.
I was going to say, the list is not long. Quarterbacks usually get taken in the first, or they start to last into the third and fourth round. Like second-round quarterbacks.
Yeah, you want guys in the mid to late first and into the second. Yeah. It's last year, Dart and Tyler Shuck. That's looking good early.
I got Jimmy Clausen.
There was nobody the year before that. Will Levis. Disaster. Kenny Pickett.
Nope.
Mac Jones.
15th.
How about Kyle Trask in the second round? I don't think he'd ever played, right? Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
That's better.
Success stories.
That's better. Drew Lock. Nope. You've got Lamar Jackson, as you mentioned. Deshaun Kaiser. Oh, he's the worst quarterback. Christian Hackenberg. I don't think he ever played.
Yeah.
Paxton Lynch. I don't think he ever played. He was a first-round pick.
Like, it's funny. You could group all quarterbacks in terms of how likely they are to succeed, but then you can go into smaller data sets. Like, all right, how about top 5 guys? Top 5 guys who don't last versus guys that make it to 23.
Right.
Every single year you've got quarterback-needy teams. And if they're passing on you as quarterback-needy teams, then that says a lot about you as a prospect.
Because the late first-round guy is almost always thought of as this is a day 2 guy that gets overdrafted because if the team believes in them enough, or he plays at a position where you're just going to overdraft him.
Yeah.
You're going to pick him in the first round. Why punt it off to the second round? It's why you don't often see quarterbacks go in the second round.
Yeah.
Like, it happens, but it's not frequent.
The other part of this is like, if it's in a Jalen Hurts or a Jordan Love, we're already good, but we do like this player.
This is like developmental. Yeah. He's not going to play right away.
We think he's good. We don't have to put him in right away. Whereas, quarterback hungry teams are feeling that push.
Right. Like, the only guy that I see that was like late first round into the second round quarterback prospect where there was hype going into it.
Manziel?
Well, Manziel, I guess, would be your second option. That's, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
No, Lamar.
Lamar
is the only one where it's like, this guy's great, he should go high, and he went late first round. Usually it's more of the opposite. It's not guys falling, it's reaching. It's Pickett. That's more of those picks. That's what I think more about those types of picks. That would be Ty Simpson for me. That's not Lamar Jackson is this gifted, talented player that should go really high. Wait, what? He went 32nd? No, Ty Simpson is Kenny Pickett, which is, I need a quarterback. He's the next best one. He might only be like a third-round guy, but if it works, then nobody's going to be mad at me anyway. So I'll just pick him in round 1. I just think it would be a really dumb idea for any team to do that. Like, you've got to be desperate, and you've got to think, you got to be hoping, I'm not going to be here next time around. I'm not going to be picking 16th. Like, that's why I get back to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's the only team that I really feel like is going to do that in the first round. Because that's what Pittsburgh does. They think they're going to be good every year. They hired their coach like they think they're going to be good again. They don't really have another avenue to get one if Aaron Rodgers retires. So how do we do it? Well, let's just pick the best guy that's there at 21. That's what they did when they picked Kenny Pickett.
Yeah. Did I read, by the way,
I think Pittsburgh is the team.
Rodgers is less likely than more likely?
I don't. I see Aaron Rodgers in a headline, and I just scroll. I don't even. What is it? He thinks he's less likely?
I think it's less likely than more likely.
That means nothing to me.
Right.
When's he going on McAfee next? He'll say something then. He's kind of still holding them hostage, isn't he?
Yeah. Would they take
Well, he's not going to Minnesota. I thought he might go to Minnesota this offseason. They have 3 quarterbacks now because they signed Carson Wentz back with guaranteed money. They have McCarthy, and they signed Kyler Murray, so they're done. Yeah, it's Pittsburgh or bust for him.
803-0550 if you want to join us in 1-888-552-550.
To your thought, though, about like where the Bills would move down, like Arizona is, we're talking 8 picks. You want to move down 8 picks to go to where the Cardinals are? The next quarterback-needy team after that, now we're at 12 picks, 13 picks to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Miami is even further than that. Like, there aren't many teams I think you could trade down with if you want to stay high in the second round. Like, you could go really down. Pittsburgh, you want to go down to 53? But that's too far, right? You're not going, your first pick of the draft isn't going to be 53rd.
The Texans, the Jets have multiple seconds, right? If you're the Bills, would you say the Jets pick at 16? They want to come up from 33 to 26. You'll say, 33 and 44 to do it?
All right.
The Jets have 2 seconds.
I mean, I would love to do that just to make the Jets think Ty Simpson's going to be their long-term quarterback. That would be another positive out of that.
Dolphins, Browns, Chiefs. Look at the teams with 2 seconds.
You know what? I would even just, you know what, Jets? I don't even need anything. This is your guy.
Just take him.
You want Ty Simpson? Be my guy. I'll switch with you. I'll go to 33. I'll move down 7 spots just for you to take him and commit 3 years or 2 years for him to be your quarterback.
The thing I don't want,
I don't like him at all.
Trading down has its benefits, has its merits. I don't want to do the thing where the Bills traded down with the Chiefs where the justification was we wanted to get a third. Like they moved out of the first to get a third
because they didn't have one.
And they slid up. And I don't want this to be a scenario. It's like, well, we wanted to get a second. All right.
When you're that far away from
just
knowing what that will even be.
I also don't like trading down because it's really a buzzkill at the draft party. We have a draft party this year. By the way, we got to have a draft party this year. We'll have one somewhere.
They have their first-round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got asked in public the other day, like, hey, you guys having a draft party this year?
Yes.
The people want it.
I'm saying yes. Even though it might not be booked or sold anywhere, we'll have one. You and I will just go outside.
We might have to have dual screens.
It'll be in my backyard. I'll put a projector up. I got a TV out there.
You got to have 2.
Yeah.
Well, you might need to have 2.
Because there's so many people? Or
no,
2
because
networks?
if the Sabres are playing that night.
Oh, right.
Because if the Sabres are playing that night. Actually,
by the time the Bills pick, the Sabres will have won by 3.
Yeah, unless it's in like double overtime.
That'd be fine.
Would you? Because you wouldn't really need the draft. Well, unless, let's see, my Miami idea plays out. We're in the 3rd period. It's tied at 2. You get an alert. The Bills are moving up to 11. Who gets the TV?
The Bills for about 4 minutes.
You're going to turn off 4 minutes of a 3rd period?
No, I'll just follow it on Twitter.
The draft?
Yeah.
That's what I would say. I'll find out on Twitter.
You'll find out faster on Twitter, too.
That's true. Oh, I hate that. I can't wait to be mad about that again. Put social media away during the draft.
Yeah.
Yearly PSA.
You have drought trivia for us, speaking of the Sabres?
I do have drought trivia. You want it?
I do.
I got a name for it. I don't know how I feel about the name of the game. This was sparked by Chopin Bulldog. We're bringing up some guys from like the bottom of the roster.
Yeah.
That we had never heard of.
C.J. Smith.
Yeah. I had remembered him.
Trevor Fogarty. Stephen Fogarty.
I think Stephen Fogarty. So this is in the ilk of inspired by Stephen Fogarty and C.J. Smith.
Those are actual Sabres players, by the way?
They were.
Okay.
I'm going to call it Sabre or Neighbor.
Huh.
I've got...
These are people that were Buffalo Sabres or are related to Malik Neighbors.
No. Okay. They are Buffalo Sabres during the drought or other NHL players.
Okay.
During the same time period.
So did these players play for the Sabres during the drought?
Which of the 2?
Okay.
Multiple choice. Which of the 2 played for the Sabres? I want to start with a little bit of...
Easy
This will be maybe the easiest one.
Get us warmed up.
Chris Terry or Tim Schaller?
Tim Schaller played for the Sabres.
Yeah.
35 games.
Yeah.
Tim Schaller.
I was gonna say.
That's your warm-up.
Okay. Wow, that's a warm-up. That's not easy.
Kyle Criscolo or Hunter Shinkaruk?
Oh, man.
Sabre or Neighbor? Who's the
Kyle
Sabre?
Criscolo played for the Sabres.
But I don't think that's a real guy. Give me the other guy.
Yeah, Hunter
Shinkaruk?
I like Hunter Shinkaruk.
Yeah.
But you're going with...
yeah.
Kyle Criscolo played 9 games for the Buffalo Sabres during the playoff drought.
2 for 2.
Jeremy's 2 for 2. You guys are 1 for 2.
Yeah.
Matt Irwin or Adam Clendenning?
Matt Irwin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
24 games.
Yeah.
Let's dial it up a little more here.
Okay. More.
Christian Folan or John Hayden? Who's the
Hayden.
Sabre?
John Hayden.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys were on that?
Hayden.
I got Hayden.
He was
Lock.
I was looking at the list of the guys that played low amount of games. I did not remember him at all.
I got Hayden on lock. I don't know why that.
Why do you have John Hayden on lock?
It did register quick.
I have no idea.
I think he played during a COVID season too, so it's not like anyone would have seen him in person.
Right. I don't know. I don't know why I had that one. The rest of them I haven't been super confident. That one I knew right away.
All right. Marco Dano or Brandon Byro?
Brandon Byro.
I like Brandon.
Give me Dyro. I don't remember a
Well, it's
Brandon.
Dano.
Dano? All right. Well, then I don't even know.
I don't know if you should go with the guy.
Brandon Biro.
All right. Yeah.
Brandon Biro played 6 games for the Buffalo Sabres.
We are unbeaten right now. This is great.
Well, you're unbeaten.
Oh, sure. Fair.
Let's see if I can get you. Sven Barchi or Scott Wilson?
Scott Wilson.
Scott.
Yeah.
He played 70 games for the Buffalo Sabres. All right. Mark Jankowski or Nick Patan?
Ooh, did Jankowski?
Who played for the Sabres? Mark Jankowski or Nick Patan?
Mark Jankowski.
I think it's Patan.
I'm going Patan.
Mark Jankowski, 19 games for the Sabres.
Yeah, whenever we've deviated from Jeremy, that's been an issue.
Reed Boucher or Riley Sheehan?
Riley Sheehan.
Yeah, Sheehan.
Easy one. That was 55 games for him.
I think I have I've detected half of your flaw with the game.
What is it?
The obscure non-Sabres are so obscure that I'm like, I don't even know if I've ever heard of that guy in my life. Whereas you probably could convince me of a guy that I have heard of.
All right. Let me try that on then. How about...
Maybe that's wrong.
No, I think that's...
Like just some journeyman that played forever. You're like, oh, wait, did he ever come here?
Yeah.
John Sebastian Day or Ryan Spooner?
John Sebastian Day.
Yeah, Sebastian Day.
Had you heard of Ryan Spooner?
Maybe.
I've never heard of Ryan Spooner.
I know of Ryan
doesn't
Spooner.
help.
Minnesota, maybe. Ryan Spooner.
I didn't get Jeremy once.
Not yet. Or is the game over?
That's all the... Well, that was problem is that's all the obscure guy. I have a long list of Sabres who played less than 82 games.
Yeah.
Look at all the one-game guys I've got.
Oh, man. That one-game list has to be wild.
Yeah.
Here, all right, I got another one. I got to keep going until I get Jeremy. Derek Pouliot or Ryan McInnes?
Derek Pouliot. There's a Benoit Pouliot.
I know. I'm not giving you Benoit. I'm giving you Derek Pouliot.
Or Ryan McInnes?
Ryan McInnes. One of those people played for the Sabres.
I got to think there weren't 2 Pouliots.
Benoit Pouliot.
If there's one thing I know about hockey,
remember the dark days of like
don't want too many
the
Pouliots.
off-season signing would be Benoit Pouliot and be like, actually, his Corsi's nice.
Right.
Oh, he was fast.
I'm gonna go with Derek Pouliot.
Yeah.
I like the I don't think there were 2 Pouliots.
Ryan McInnes played one game for the Buffalo Sabres.
Yes. Congratulations to him.
9 Sabres played one game for the Sabres. You want that list?
Sure.
Dalton Smith.
Yep.
Do you remember the one-gamers?
They called him up.
Joel Armia. You would remember him.
Okay. Yep.
Tanner Pearson. That was recent.
Matthew Savoy.
Sean Malone.
Yes.
Okay.
Local.
Christian Wolanin.
I don't
No.
know that one.
I do remember.
Jeremy Davies.
Nope.
And Trevor Kuntar.
Kuntar, yes. Another local boy. A couple of them in there. Malone and
then you get
Kuntar.
into your Eric Bergdorfers and such in the 2-game group.
Derek Whitmore in the 2-game group, right?
Derek Whitmore, Travis Turnbull, Colin Stewart, Danny O'Regan.
Danny O'Regan came over in the Ennis trade, I believe.
Sorry.
That's the Campbell.
Kane. Evander Kane.
Yes. What I was trying to say was the Campbell trade, but you're right. It was definitely a Sharks trade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was San Jose.
Yeah.
I think he was the prospect in the Evander Kane trade. John Gilmore.
Some of these trades. How long do you think the GM spent deciding which player was going to be like? Right. Listen, O'Regan's not coming cheap. Like, it's got to be O'Regan. Or are they just like, I don't know. Hold on. They open the page like, how about this O'Regan kid? Yeah, all right, fine. All right.
What hand is easy? A lefty? All right, that's fine.
Right.
Who has the fewest minutes of a Sabre goal scorer in the drought, you might ask? Answer, Ethan Prow. Scored a goal for this team.
Yes.
Everybody knows that.
Of course. Ethan Prow.
There's Mason Geertsen. That was this year.
How many minutes did Cliff Poo play?
That was this year.
Mason Geertsen was this year.
Cliff Poo.
I can't believe we made it this far.
Yeah.
We began the year with a goon on the team to what inspired. Maybe it worked.
Do you remember how mad
Maybe
we
they've
all
been
were about
so.
him?
You know what? Maybe they've been so inspired to stand up for each other because of those 2 weeks that Mason Geertsen was on the team.
There was another name. Yeah, Trevor Kuntar was on the team this year. He said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, that was this year?
It was this year.
I just have
He
it
got
total.
called up.
I
It
didn't
was
know which
this year.
That's funny.
Also, remember.
Is his name get on the cup?
I don't think so. Also,
Man, That'd be crazy.
I think you got to play more than one game.
I think that might be right.
One game. He was a -1. Hey, remember Ryan Johnson?
Yeah.
He's still down in Rochester.
Kicking around. Did you see the Amerks Bills-themed jerseys?
I did. It's
with
the
moose with the thing?
Yeah. And then the helmet has like the stripe going down it.
Right.
They look like
I think Helene scored a hat trick.
Aren't the jerseys like Zubas?
On the shoulders. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Helenius.
I think the helmet made it a little much.
Helenius is good.
I like the jerseys.
Is good.
Yeah.
Helenius is good.
He can go. That's going to probably be pretty nice next year.
He will be on this team next year.
Yeah.
I think he has to.
Are we sure he's a river hockey kind of guy? By the way,
I'm not sure about that one. I mean, not everybody can come back. I mean, they got to pay Benson. They got to pay Krebs.
I want you to do something for me.
They got to pay Malenstein.
I want you to go to your Maps app, okay? Open it up. Zoom in on the KeyBank Center. Because, like, it goes without saying, but...
Zoom in on the key.
Yeah.
Are you talking Google Earth?
Yeah, whatever you want. Google Maps, Apple Maps, whatever.
Okay, it doesn't have to be like the actual picture.
No. Just zoom in on it.
Not satellite view, okay.
The satellite view.
Okay.
Or no, you're right. No, the street view.
I'm getting things that are popping up as I zoom in on it.
Okay.
Is that what you're implying?
I want you to look at the body of water directly behind the arena.
Oh, let me see here.
It's the Buffalo River.
Mm-hmm.
We've always had river hockey, baby. It's always been river hockey.
Yeah, the arena's on the river.
And now's the time to launch the campaign fully. If I could ever find it in my tweets from 10 years ago, I would find it, but I have no idea how I would find it. Somebody out there might. Going up and down the Buffalo River on boats, on kayaks. In the summer, the river there it's a scene now. And what does the arena have on the back of it? Nothing. River hockey. Big mural back of the KeyBank Center. Now's the time. It's river hockey.
I don't know that do I want them to lean into it when it's false?
They already were river hockey. It's the arena is on a river.
I know, but it's the implication that they play river hockey, which is not correct.
They just dial it up when they want to.
Right, they can hit a button and do it if they want.
We're down 2 to the Ducks. Hit that foghorn. It's river hockey time, baby.
It is also, I will say, like, it is in line with when the Hurricanes became the bunch of jerks.
Yes.
Yeah.
But see, like, that was kind of accurate. They liked being a bunch of jerks because they were. This is not actually a river hockey team.
Sure is.
I mean, the arena is on, I guess.
It's on the Buffalo River.
I don't know. I'm looking at the map. Is that the river yet?
Yes, it's more on the river than it's on the lake.
It might be the marina.
It's the river. It ain't the
when
marina.
Does the river begin?
Right there at the mouth where all the ships go in and deliver grain.
On the map.
That's the river.
But it says Buffalo River right next to the arena. On
that's the Buffalo River.
But at some point, the river becomes the marina, doesn't it?
No, I'm in the marina. The marina's around the other side.
Right.
I think maybe the Skyway would be the border
straight
anyway.
into the lake.
This is the river.
The marina is also just in the river, right?
No.
The
marina is back around the
but that's what I mean.
The giant brutalist tower that overlooks.
All right, I think you're right. Like if it was one lot over, it would be on the marina. But right where that, right where the where, what would you call that? It's kind of an island, but it's where all the grain mills are. Like once that begins,
it's the Buffalo River. And there is empty real estate on the side of KeyBank Center for a mural.
What do you want to mural
do it,
of?
Sabres. River hockey.
Maybe they're just waiting for the Stanley Cup champion mural that's going to go on the side there.
It's just this giant empty spot. Come on. Put all your stars up there. Be a great idea. Then, they could leave it for 20 years. Then, party in the Plaza. The Plaza thing, they replaced that, right?
Yeah.
Just saying. It's right there on the river. River hockey. Tomorrow, the Bruins shall feel the wrath. I'm not going to that game, and I'm upset about it. We've reached that point. What do you mean I'm not going to this game? I'm going on Tuesday, though. Islanders. All right, Jeremy and Joe, 803-0550 and 1-888-552-550 on WGR. Stat of the day. This came from Mike Clay. Got audio of him talking about this. I sent this to Joe Kelly. That, we know the Sabres have been good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mike Clay of ESPN?
Sorry, Mike Kelly.
Mike Kelly.
I do that all the
NHL
time.
Network. Yeah.
Mike Kelly.
They both live in the advanced stat world, just in
That's right.
different aspects.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. The Sabres have had a lead in the last 27 games.
They've had a lead.
Yeah.
In 27 games.
27 consecutive games they've had a lead.
Wow.
They've won a lot, so you're like, well,
yeah,
but
right.
even the games that they've lost, they have had a lead in 27 consecutive games.
Right, because a couple come to mind. Anaheim, they're leading in the final 2 minutes.
Washington,
the game they lost in Tampa, they were leading with 30 seconds left.
Yeah. The one home win against Washington, they scored first.
Right. Yeah.
27 consecutive games.
So what's the last? Do we know the last game that they didn't lead in?
I think, is it Carolina?
The Brandon Bussey game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be right. Which was coincidentally their last regulation road loss.
It was 1-1 at the end of the first, and they lost.
Darlene scored first.
Okay, so it's before that game. Sorry, my mistake. Before the Carolina game, I was trying to count backward there.
Is it since the new year?
Is it the January 12th Panthers game? Or is it the Blue Jackets game they lost 5-1?
I think they never led in the Florida game.
Okay, there you go. 27 consecutive games with the lead. How much are people thinking about the future of the position and the next wave? Because they did draft Coleman for this, and 2 years in, it's very much undetermined where it goes from here, right? But
it's not going well.
It's not going well. And Sal brought up a point on the afternoon show yesterday, which I thought was really interesting about Coleman. And, Joe Brady says the best thing that happens to him is I'm his head coach. We're going to do what it takes to make this work. All right, that's all great. Sal brought up the point, what happens if he lets them down again? He's late again. And you're in October, or he does something and you have to suspend him and bench him again. All of a sudden, you look like, whatever, you got egg on your face. You look bad. Like, oh, look at this. The guy you vouched for is still a problem. And if it happened again, any idea of moving him for value would probably crater even further. So,
if there's no getting something for him next year if it goes the same way it just did. He's cut at that point, right? He's Treylon Burks. He's just available as a street free agent, and somebody brings him in to be their sixth receiver. It's over for him if that's the way that it goes again, which is why I don't know that I should count on him being here next year. He's not. He might be here this year. He is not entering my thought process at all anymore for who's the future of the position.
Yeah.
The odds of him overcoming the maturity issues off the field to then get substantially better as a player on the field, because that has been a key component of him not succeeding in the first 2 years either. There's just way too much to overcome for him to be what? They're Gabe Davis of the future. I don't know what the end goal would be for Coleman at this point.
Hey, go to getmyperks.com for a chance to pick up the WGR VIP golf card. Yeah. Good deal. Here's how it works. You get 8 amazing golf experiences valued at $321. You grab it now for just $129. 60% off. Portion of proceeds benefits PGA Hope. Get all the details and your card at getmyperks.com. You'll see that you get 18 holes, a couple different golf experiences, golf dojos in there, and Rigs Are at Golf. Lots to get to. The WGR VIP golf card, 8 different experiences, Golf Dojo Indoor, and Shamrock Hills Golf Club, Attica's 10th Hole, Bobolink, Rigs Are at Golf, Destroyer Park Golf, and a $25 gift certificate to the 1812 Tavern in Hamburg. The WGR VIP golf card at getmyperks.com. Jeremy and Joe, howdy. Happy Tuesday. The sun's out.
Mm-hmm.
That's great news. We are going to the stadium today.
Yes. All the seats are in, right?
Can you imagine, like, we're walking on, there's a media tour, so you're probably going to see some pictures and some video. We walk and, like, accidentally open a door and, like, oh, my God, there's the big buffaloes. There they are. They're not out for public view yet. We got to try and tell the tale of how big the buffalo are. I'm excited. I can't wait to see the grass. The grass, the seats. I mean, we haven't been in.
The seats. The last time we were there, none of that was in there.
No seats. No seats, no grass.
Yeah, no.
And
it was still dirt
and the
cement, whatever.
And the story from a couple of months ago, the vandalism was that there were portions of the stadium that were done, suites that were done, that have been vandalized, which means, they had to repair those suites. But are we going to walk in and see what some of these clubs look like what's finished? We got a game there, or at least not just a game, but a scrimmage, the blue and red, the first football event there. Looking at 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
When was last year's blue and red?
First week of August.
It was.
Right?
Yeah, August 1st. August
1st. Yeah, a couple weeks into training camp, but before the preseason. Is it usually the week before the preseason begins? I think.
I'm going to pull up the Bills' 2025 camp schedule to find out. Yeah, here you go. Training camp schedule. So camp last year opened on July 23rd, and the blue and red was August 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do the same calendar, which I think you probably will, the Bills get added time because of a new coach. That's more OTAs you get. Mm-hmm. But training camp I'd expect to open about the same time. So if we're doing July, camp opens on July 22nd. Is the blue and red July 31st? If it's the same timeline, it's July 31st.
July 31st.
So April, May, June, 4 months and 7 days.
All right. I'm reading from Jeremy Fowler. He's detailing the Max Crosby trade process and how it fell apart.
Okay.
We know now who Baltimore beat out or outbid to get Crosby when they came in at the 11th hour.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Bills. I'm not setting this up to be like, the Bills were the team
when
they
over. To get Crosby, not Hendrickson.
To get Crosby.
Okay.
To get Max Crosby. Right. So sorry, that wasn't at the 11th hour. That was part of the process beforehand. No one else offered 2 first-round picks. Dallas had offered the 12th overall pick and their second. That was the bid that Baltimore beat out.
Yeah.
So, and that is a higher first-round pick. So there's that. They also have 2 firsts. Because even in here, like Dallas offered the 20th pick and Osa Odigizua. Then they offered the 12th pick and the 3rd. They eventually went final offer, 12th overall pick and the 2nd round pick. So they would not go to 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby. I don't see the Bills mentioned really in here at all.
Okay.
So I don't know how serious they really were ever in on that. Bean said they were like kind of in on it, right? Like poked around on it. But from the Fowler breakdown here, like it was never, it was going to be Baltimore or Dallas. And that there's not an indication that Dallas is so funny. They trade Micah Parsons away.
I know.
And then they're going for an older pass rusher who's probably not as good the next summer, who is on a giant contract for a giant price. I don't get them ever. I mean, he's still, I guess, reading the story more and more, like, I guess maybe he's not going to get traded. That he will just stay with Las Vegas because the Raiders will even pride maybe will get in the way. We're not taking
not just pride,
we're not taking 50 cents on the dollar because that's going to make us look like idiots.
Sure, right. As you say, pride, perception, however you want to say it. It was out. You were going to get 2 firsts, and now what? 2 seconds.
Right.
It looks like you lost. You could blame the Ravens, but it looks like a very big loss.
Did you hear Crosby detailing his visit to Baltimore? Also,
yeah,
that kind of fueled the. Well, they knew. And they knew what they were about to do. The GM never met with him. He was in the building while he was there visiting with the Ravens, and that he asked, he was going through the whole visit, no coach, no GM. He's like, can I meet the coach? We just got traded here. He met the coach very briefly at the very end of his visit.
Yeah, awkward.
And he even said, it was a weird vibe. There wasn't an excitement in the air. He felt like something was off.
Yeah.
He's giving life to, they kind of knew.
Yeah, you make that trade, your coach and GM meet him at the front door.
Right. And you didn't see the GM the entire time you were there?
Yeah.
That's weird. That's very weird. The whole thing is weird with him.
803-0550 if you want to join us. Syracuse basketball set to make it official. Jerry McNamara will be their next head coach.
All right. You like that?
Sure. Yeah.
Comparatively?
Sure.
To where they were at?
Let me know when they're going to have a competitive season in the ACC. It hasn't really happened yet. They've never been good in the ACC. They've been good in the tournament.
What's their highest finish in the ACC?
You check it. Let me guess. 7th.
Come on. They had 1 year higher than that, right?
Maybe the beginning. They've not had good seasons in the ACC.
They finished in the ACC. They finished 2nd in their first year.
Okay, and then?
In the ACC. 8th, 9th, 7th, 10th, 6th, 6th, 8th, 9th, 8th. Tied for 5th 2 years ago, and then 14th.
Terrible. Just absolutely terrible.
Yeah, that's really
since
tough.
Going to the ACC. So be competitive in the ACC. The ACC, which has one Sweet 16 team.
Right. Which
it's
is
fine.
Wait, who is it? It's
Duke. It's Duke.
Yeah.
It's it.
Yep.
Go ahead and compete in the ACC. Meanwhile, Syracuse's women's basketball team.
Oh boy.
It's a tough one.
They were down 65-12 at the half.
There was
12.
There was the biggest run in women's tournament history.
What was the run? Oh, it must have been. Was it 50?
No.
40?
31 to nothing.
31 to nothing.
A 31 unanswered point run for UConn. 31. They were already down by 20, and there's a 30-point run. That's tough. Tough.
What do you say in the halftime?
What you say at the end of the game, and the Syracuse coach did say this, Felicia Legette-Jack, that they got to stop putting us in UConn. She thought it was a personal attack that they were put in UConn again, kind of pleading.
Is that why? Has that happened like multiple times?
Every year they do anything, they go to UConn and they get smacked.
Yeah.
Yes. All their tournament losses of late have been exactly that. She basically said, do they have something against me? To be coming from a 12 and 16, 18, whatever season this year, let's judge it on the season. For us to do what we've done, to continuously have to come to UConn, and every single school that I go to, from Buffalo to, it's unfair to the young people. I don't know what it is. Somebody said, is there something they might have against me?
Huh.
Send us anywhere else but UConn. Eventually you're going to meet UConn. Syracuse finished 24-9 and lost at UConn.
Mm-hmm.
Good season. But UConn's a buzzsaw. Anyway, Extendo Sports coming up. Then we'll wrap things up and hand you off to the Northtown Automotive Extra Point Show here on WGR. All I'm getting at is if the Sabres and Lightning do meet and that collision course matchup happens in the second round, I mean, the emotions we will feel, the instant built rivalry. Isn't it so funny how the NHL, the entire playoff format exists in an attempt to create rivalries? And the Sabres and Lightning, maybe not for Tampa, maybe they're still coming along. I'm hating the Sabres. We'll see. The Sabres and Lightning could have the most intense one that we've had for the Sabres in a decade kind of bubble up in the span of 2 months.
Right. All of the pent up energy would have been from 2 regular season games at most, really. And like, bam, we're in the playoffs and we're rivals.
And we hate each other.
Yeah.
And we absolutely, and the fans are full throat, absolutely despise this team.
I mean, isn't that really all it took? Because even like the Ottawa rivalry was a blip. Like, it didn't.
No,
it was not. There was none of it pre-lockout.
It bubbled up, lasted 2 years, and then those teams were bad.
Over by 2007. So it was a 2-year flash, but it was intense for 2 years. Like, that's really all that matters. If you're good at the same time, it takes a minute to get there, right? Which is where, like, the Tampa-Florida rivalry has reached, like, another level because they've been doing it for 5 years against each other. And I guess they play in the same state, if that matters as well. But that part, I guess you can see, like, that doesn't matter either. The Lightning are in the Sabres division. Tampa Bay, wait, what? They're in the same division with Buffalo? All right, if you're just both good at the same time, you'll be rivals. And that's already happened. Yeah, that would be... I really hope we get that series.
Everybody's got mock drafts. Everybody's got rankings. Chris Sims. You see his wide receiver rankings? We talked receivers today a little bit.
Who's he got?
His number 1 receiver is Denzel Boston.
Really?
Yeah. And it's funny, like...
Denzel Boston.
Can I give you one quick data point? Because Boston is going to get compared to Keon Coleman.
He has Chris Brazzell above Carnell Tate?
Yes. He has Zachariah Branch, your guy, as his wide receiver 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got some strange rankings. But on Boston, he gets compared to Coleman. And Coleman has, for better or for worse, become the, you don't want that guy.
Right.
Even though I think there still might be something in there for someone to use the right way. That he might end up being a disappointing pick, but he could have a career in the league still, and maybe for the Bills. 1 point I'll give you from Matt Harmon of receptionperception.com. Again, big body receivers, does he get open? That's what everybody wants to know, right? So for Keon Coleman's draft profile and his ability to beat man coverage coming out of Florida, Matt Harmon charting that as compared to Denzel Boston, I believe he had Keon Coleman as like a 4th percentile man coverage beater. Denzel Boston is at 72.
That's a big difference.
They're not the same player. He was a perimeter player in college, lots of big receiver, ball skills. You get all your comps. He puts him in the Drake London, Tet McMillan family of receivers. So the comparisons there, say what you will. Chris Sims has Denzel Boston, his wide receiver, number 1. Good at getting off press at the line of scrimmage. He gets pressed a lot. You move him around, but he should be good.
All right. I'm into it. Well, more into it than the idea of just get me a big receiver on this team.
Right. Joe Marino tomorrow. We'll ask Joe about defensive names. Like guys, pass rushers, edge rushers, linebackers.
Cassius Howell.
Cassius Howell's a big popular one.
It's been mocked to the Bills a ton.
How about the Bills at 26? At 26 overall, the Buffalo Bills select Texas A&M. Which is it? KC, Concepcion, or Cassius Howell? The commissioner should do that, more drama. Also, KC Concepcion's name is Kevin.
Yeah.
And I think if you're a wide receiver, you got to go with KC over Kevin. KC is cool. It's a faster name. Swag. You get open. You got moves.
Still
Kevin.
Got that Chiefs thing though.
Your name's Kevin. Kevin's a nice name. That's not a wide receiver name.
I'll think.
Good luck.
There's got to be some good Kevins.
You got 20 hours to think of one. We're back tomorrow, 6 a.m. here on WGR.